Thanks, everybody. There you go. All right, yeah, so, perfect. Yeah, I had my mic muted because I was trying to figure out that the stream was working here. But anyways, welcome to the stream, everybody. So, got 4 people watching, 5 people watching here so far, but so yeah, we'll kind of wait for people to trickle in here. But, yeah, basically, wanted to just share some accomplishments here. So I just hit 7,500 subscribers on YouTube, so that's awesome. Hello, everybody. Yeah, everybody. Get my ugly mug off there. But, yeah, and then I had a goal for a while for my total subscribers gained in a 28-day period. I had a goal to hit 1,000 subscribers gained, and I just hit that yesterday, so super awesome, super excited for that. My next goal, I'm not really sure, to be honest. I'll have to figure what that is after the stream, so... anyways, just make sure that this is all maximized out here. So I got the YouTube chat here. I also got the Twitch chat. This community is growing. Indeed it is. So I'm actually going to switch these. There. Come on, there. Interwebs. Where... Sure, I'll do this. I'll do this. No, god damn it. Sorry, I'm trying to get this. There we go. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I just want the Twitch chat here because I missed a couple of chats last time here. So, anyways, this is a Tarkov debug video. So, we released the last episode last week, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the series. Creation. I'm one of those new subs. Hi, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. I think I just saw one of your comments, actually. Were you the guy that commented saying that you were a software engineer and watched the tick video? Is that you? So, TG, I found a grid duplication bug. Copy that. We'll figure that out. Yep, that's me. Perfect. Yeah, welcome to the stream, man. I'm not a software engineer. I debated doing it. But in the grand scheme of things, I don't know what else I would use it for other than Unreal, personally. I mean, maybe application development in some variety, but yeah, I'm basically all self-taught. I've been using Unreal Engine for about 7 years. And yeah, I like learning and I like teaching. So I started this YouTube channel specifically to learn more stuff about Unreal Engine, because I found, like, learning Unreal Engine on your own, it's a lot harder for you to kind of, like, branch out from what you need specifically for your projects and stuff. So for me to be able to do this channel, learn new concepts, and then basically make videos about them for you guys, I think is a really great way for me to learn personally. So hopefully everybody's finding some value in those videos. Oh yeah, Mark joined the, what's it called? The people of Windows and left Linux, so, that's great. Hooray, Mark. Leave Linux behind. He said Linux is too advanced, which is interesting. In chat for Mark's hospital. Oh, yeah, yeah, rip, you know, Mark's hospital that he worked like for like 3 months on in Blender, right? Like, oh, he lost that after he transitioned over to Windows from Linux. That's rough, man. I mean, oof. Now that you know more, though, could you make it faster? That's the question, right? Alrighty, so we're inside of here. So let's. I'm gonna open up Discord because if you guys have anything you want me to look at, post a. Here, I can never remember the goddamn site name. Blueprint UE. Something rather. I got it here in my on my interwebs somewhere. Where are you? Interwebs right here. So let's open this one up. UE sites. Nope, not that one. Personal sites. Game dev references. Here it is. This site. If you guys don't know this site, you should bookmark it. Blueprint UE. So you can name a title or whatever, and then you literally copy your blueprint graph. Like come into Unreal Engine here. And, sure, we'll click on this, Control-E to open it up, right? And, okay, there's nothing in here, so that's not going to work for anybody, but... sure, your grid widget, right? Open up your grid widget, and go to your graph, and you literally just copy the whole thing. Literally, Control-C, go back to that website, you know, paste, and it's going to be unlisted, but so anyone who has a thing can look at it or whatever. Create your blueprints. Oh, titles required. Sure, whatever. This one, right? And there, it's just now created your blueprint graph that you can now share with everybody, and they can look at your stuff. I believe they can go into functions too. Can they? I thought they could. Maybe they can't. Okay, whatever. Is what it is. But yeah, I can look at this, right? Like, because, you know, people post screenshots and it's all just, like, super hard to read and can't quite make some stuff out. But, yeah, this is a great way for you to just kind of paste your code so we can have a look at it on stream. We can kind of make sure everything's all good. So, blueprint.ue.com. Bookmark that. All right, cool. All right, so, yeah, I'll put up Discord as well just to have a look here. If you're not a member of the Discord, that's, we got, what, it's 600 and something members now. What is it? 625? I think we got a few more than that, actually. But, yeah, 625 members. Really great place to be if you guys want to learn how to make games and have a bunch of game devs to bounce some ideas off of. Showcase your work. Resolute/Mark has, like, taken over the moderation of that because he was getting really annoyed that people were posting, you know, like, their work. And then people would comment a million things and then that you can't see the work that they were trying to showcase. So, but, anyways, yeah, you can have people test your game. Share some code. There's some resources in here for you guys as well. You know, this isn't a Discord about me and me being a streamer and how, like, cool I am, like majority of all Discord servers out there. So, yeah, we'll see here. That's Tier talking to me about stuff. So we'll, if Tier's in the chat, I'll read that later. Anyways, let's go to the help forum here. So yeah, post in here, Unreal Engine help forum, with the tag Tarkov help, and I will have a look at it. There seems to be a lot of people still having issues with rotation, so let me know if that's the case here. Zion Arts, welcome to the stream. Hey, there, started modding Conan Exiles, and for recipes, they got data tables. I want to make an in-game UI through their dev kit to modify recipes of my items in the table. Is that possible at all? I'm not familiar with modding, so I don't know exactly how that all works. There is somebody in the Discord named WOV who's been modding for like 10 years on, God, I can't even remember the name of the game he's modding, but, so he might have more information on that. But if it's, I did see him open up Unreal Engine once, and then he, was doing stuff for that game inside of Unreal Engine, so I can't see it being super difficult. You probably just have to work within the confines of whatever the game's already got set up, I suspect. Modify recipes of my items in the table. Since it's a data table, you can also edit it in spreadsheet format and then re-import that. Mark's literally said the exact same thing I just said, right? That's funny. I do want to read it on the screen here, but I can't make the text bigger. The text is literally, like, microscopic. Like, I feel like I'm 80 years old. I'm like, well, let's get my spectacles out, right? You know? But anyways, TG... Let's see. Okay, so let's look at some of this stuff here. Real Time says, I have to learn Blender now because Autodesk caught on to my shenanigans. Ah, shit, eh? That's too bad. Blender's way more intimidating until you realize you're not going to use 99% of it anyway, so just use the things you need. Yeah, pretty much, right? 100%. Mark, add me on Discord, Zion, and we'll talk. We talk mostly Mondays when I'm off work to make something simple for what I work on as a mod is simple modding, but complex ideas. Oh, okay, nice. Alright, so David's got the first bug here. TG to replicate the bug, add a rifle to the storage box, then in-game, drag in the storage box rifle to your backpack, and drag in the key large slot, and okay, here, so I'll try to replicate this. So in here, so we'll go to details, go to the storage inventory, we'll clear all these out, and we'll add a rifle. Rifle, okay, so add a rifle in, you don't need to worry about the rest of that, because it'll get set at runtime. Then in-game, drag the storage box rifle to your backpack, and drag in the key slot large item, and swap with the other rifle. Copy that, let's try that out. Alright, open it up. Move this into your backpack, and then swap this. Ah. Interesting. Okay. Well... Okay, that's... interesting. Huh. What a bug to start with, David. Jeez. That's crazy. Okay, so... we've created another backpack slot. That doesn't make any sense to me. Let me, okay, so we got this. We drag this into here. How did you find this bug? I guess just playing the game or whatever, eh? Okay, so obviously this is going to be on the on-drop function, so let's have a look at that. Okay, I guess I gotta close to open this. That'll be on the item. Where are we? I gotta reacclimate myself, or re-familiarize myself with this project because I haven't friggin' touched it since the last stream we did for this. So, item widget, right? That's the one. And then we did the on drag. Maybe that's not the right one. Sorry, it'll be the right. Yeah, of course. Sorry, it's the grid widget, right? Or the slot BGs. This one, because we set all the other things to be not hit testable, so that we can hit the grid underneath it. So query on drop. Let's just. We're in there. Great. Let's hit a breakpoint here and let's see what the hell's going on here. So I'll hit play. We'll move this. Whoa, we got a what's it called? Dono from Real Time Fat Man. David already has the fix. Does he now? Well, that's no fun, David. You're just gonna give me the answer? Interesting. I'm in the right place, I suspect. Hey. You know what? I think I already know what the issue might be. Does it have something to do with this? Specifically, where is it? Get players to, yeah, this one. Does it have something to do with this? I bet you it does. His name is Sajid. Well, we did ask him at the beginning when he joined the streams, however many months ago, what he wants his name to be. So he said David. That's what it is. Oh, I just realized I didn't reset the where is it? The chronometer. Where the hell are you, chronometer? Here you are. So we'll reset that. We will add one. And when we get up to 5, we'll put on the crown, and then whoever does the, I don't know, we'll figure out one of the random people that donated. They can request a random thing I can do on stream or whatever. If you get all the way up to 5 here. Okay, so we got go to your grid widget and open the swap key item function inside. Well, I can just access that from here. Well, yeah. Swap key item. On the hover item exists branch. Right over here. Yeah, okay. Hover item exists branch. I lost your comment. There it is. Branch. Remove the create subgrid in the true line. Interesting. Okay. Copy. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Does that run it? Does that create any other issues? David's working overtime. This is great. David's working overtime. Well, obviously, yes, that will fix the issue. But does that create any other issues here? Let's get rid of that breakpoint now. We don't need that. Because David is the breakpoints. So, alright, we swappity swap. Sounds great. Right. Oh, interesting. There is a new... Unless, I don't know, something weird happened there. I don't know if it's just my game or whatever. So, I did this, and send it back. Okay, yeah, I think that was just my thing being weird. Okay, yeah, sounds good. I'm gonna get rid of that print string. I'm super sick of that thing, to be honest. So, my reply is above Mark's message. Yeah, so I'll shut up, yeah, right. Oh, I have a fix for that bug to TG. That was my second bug. Which one was that? Sorry. The one where it doesn't let you drag? And so we got 10 people watching. You guys, anybody watching, if you guys have done this series and you are all the way through or even partially the way through, this is your opportunity to get some help on the series. So let's see. We'll close this. I just said something I was going to do. Oh, I was going to get rid of that print string, which I believe is in the grid widget. Let's go to the event graph. I think it's in set drag widget, update, blah, 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 create item widgets. Yeah, I was in this one. Find and place item. You're here somewhere. Goddamn print string. Here, find results, print string. There we go. Item doesn't fit. I mean, I'm personally confident removing that because, yeah, item doesn't fit again. So I'm just gonna get rid of all these. Okay, so it wasn't in grid widget. What about slot BG? Print string. No results. Okay. Close all this. Oh, you know what? It might be in the component then. Components, inventory, grid. Here we go. Print string. Item not accepted. I'll leave that one in there. Because that'll have something to do later. So, compile. And I gotta pull up my notes as well. Anyways, I'll look at the messages here. Did you see my latest video clip and showcase your work? Possibly. I'll have a look here. Not the print string, yeah. So, TG, I'll check it out right now. I just want to find this last print string. Where would that be? I can't remember the shortcut for finding blueprints. Window... Tools? There it is, finding blueprints. Finding blueprints 1, here we go. Print string. Standard functions. Add animation sample. That's nothing to do with mine. Item widgets. Let's see what this one is. Item data not valid. I'm gonna leave that one in there. I think that's a good one to have. What's the next one here? Player states. Item not valid for... Yeah, that one seems fair. Like, it's just that, like, it doesn't fit in grid or whatever the hell it was called. Oh, I mean, that definitely narrow... Like, me just saying it out loud, I'm dumb. Where is it? Calculate target... This one here. No, it's not in there. I mean, it would have found it in the... What's it called? In this, right? Animation sample, grid components... Item in bounds. What the hell is it called? I can't even remember what the debug thing said. Maybe I got rid of it. Because I didn't see it pop up there again. Cool, alright, well, problem solved, I guess. Alright, so TG fixed that bug. Go to your item widgets, set new item data function. Okay. Let's do that one next. And then I'll look at, Fatman, I'll look at your thing and showcase your work afterwards. Right, sorry, I gotta do this. Do this. Item widgets, you said? Item widgets, set new item data function, okay. Function or the event? Because I don't know if you remember, but in episode 12, I think it was either 12 or 11, I discovered, hey, there's that print string. Oh, is that where you're telling me it was? On the validate, oh, okay, no it wasn't, but yeah, I'm gonna get rid of that, actually. Okay, so set item data. Yeah, right here. Yeah, because we created a function that was called set new item data, and then we also had an event. We had kind of two events, and there was a couple spots where we were using one or the other. So yeah, we ended up in the videos doing set new item data, and then resets item data is what we renamed this as, because we ran all of this information. But anyways, let's keep going here. On the validate get for the parent grid, right here, yep, is on not valid. Drag and search for set item. Sorry, you're saying drag and search for set item visibility events. Okay. And set not dragging. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. So that was something that we were doing. Copy that. Okay. That makes sense. So hopefully that makes sense, everybody. If you are dragging and you don't have a valid parent grid, then you're going to make sure that all the visibility for all the items gets set back to visible so that we can actually interact with them again. Okay, thanks for that, David. Don't expect anything mind-blowing. This is just a project I started in Unity, but decided to remake an Unreal Engine. Alright. One more bug to fix. I've watched quite a few tutorials and I understand some of the logic, but when I try to build something on my own, my mind kind of freezes. Why does this happen, and how can I get better at it? Nikos the 15s asks. So if you're watching tutorials and then you're freezing when you're actually doing stuff, I don't think that the tutorials that you're watching are necessarily doing a good job of explaining the reasoning behind why we're doing stuff. Right, so obviously doing it yourself is going to yield you better results in the end than watching a bunch of tutorials. So, you know, yeah, I think the short answer is honestly just to keep making stuff on your own, and then when you're watching a tutorial and they're like, hey, do this, but they don't explain why, maybe just make a note of it and then just do some research on your own. Why do we use a function here instead of an event or something like that, right? Or whatever the case is. So yeah, in my videos, I try to make it a habit of making sure I explain why we're doing stuff the way we're doing it. It is a little hard to follow the tutorial sometimes, even on my videos, because you don't know what the end thing is supposed to be, or like what we're building or what the steps are. So I personally need to get a bit better at that for my videos, but yeah. BSG, nice. Yeah, repetition and more reps. Yeah, exactly. Hello, all you beautiful, graceless devs. Don't forget to like the stream. All right, and then, yeah, David, we'll fix your bug in a second here. We'll just go to Fatman's thing here in the chat, or in whatever this is, Discord. So you said showcase your work. Here it is. Let's have a look. That looks like the old school, like, Halo health bar. Or the 007 health bar, actually. That's pretty cool. That's pretty goddamn cool. Right now, I'm working on a new project. The Element King one is getting shelved for now, and we're starting a new one here. So, I'm pretty excited for that one. It's going to be kind of a cozy game. I just implemented the build. Sorry, I'm starting to implement the build, like the house building system. I created a subsystem in C++ for that. It's looking pretty good. So, anyways, resource chat. Oh man, I promised your community that those getting aggroed. This is what I'm talking about. I'm utilizing get all actors of class on tick and nothing is happening to performance whatsoever. Let's investigate this. Yeah, we'll disable the... So... I already know what he's getting at here. So he's probably, I mean, we can listen to him if we want, but he's claiming that he's using get all actors of class. Okay, if you're using C++ versus blueprints with get all actors of class, it's not exactly the same thing, right? Because C++, the tick in C++ does not work the same as the tick inside of blueprints, right? So that's why when you're building a system, like the building subsystem, for example, I just made, when you do it in C++, it's like not the same in terms of tick, right? So, or tick usage, I should say, or even the tick overhead. So, and I'm pretty sure these are all instances anyway. So if you get all actors of class, there's only going to be one actor technically. These are all static mesh instances, as far as I'm aware. So yeah, well, I'm just curious what's happening here. We're just gonna watch it. It's a lot of rifles. we gotta get on with it here, geez. All right. He did the test and I missed it. So again, I gotta look at his function again in C++. Get actor forward vector, service, blah, blah, blah. World tick time, player tick. Yeah, like I said, if you do this right, it doesn't matter. Like in my build system, like I'll show you guys if you want, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to use get all actors of class on tick. It doesn't make any sense to me, right? If you need to get all actors of class, why can't you do that and then cache the array of actors, right? Why do we need every frame or every half second or whatever the case is to get all actors of class? Do you know what I mean? So like unless those actors are constantly changing, maybe, I don't know, but in that case there'd be a better programming way to do that than get all actors of class. That's just my opinion on it. Okay, anyways. Oh, it was under that one? Sorry, real time. Real time's giving me shit because I watched the wrong video. Sorry about that. I'll respond to that later. Anyways, because I got to think about a response to him. Anyways, where are we? Sorry, we are... General... Where did you say it was? Showcase my work, right? Right here. This one, okay. This is literally old school, like... Well, the flashlight looks really good, by the way. Oh, night vision? Sick. That's awesome. Was it easier to make in Unreal or was it easier to make in Unity? Serious question. So, all right. Anyways, what benefit do you have in the cache if they are dynamic? So when you say dynamic, you mean like it's constantly changing? What do we? So okay, here's the more important question. What are we changing? Right? If okay, what are we changing? So basically, you know, here's an example, like a real life example. So, you know, if I'm running around this game, right, and I scan for enemies, and so we're gonna scan for enemies, and you know, maybe they highlight where the enemies are with like an overlay material or something like that. There's like 10 enemies, right? So I don't need to get all actors of class to find all the enemies in my immediate surrounding. I'm gonna basically sphere trace once. What are all the actors in this sphere trace, or whatever the case is, right? And then with that sphere trace, you could get all actors of class, apply an overlay material, and then basically have a timer, set a timer to fire off, and update the overlay material, right? So I only need to get actors of class once, and then they're going to have their overlay material on all of those actors, you know, go along or whatever, and then after a certain amount of time or whatever, we can disable that overlay material, and we can handle that inside each individual actor. There's no reason we need to tick and constantly update the overlay material or whatever the case is on that particular position, right? Yeah, I just, in my opinion, does not make any sense to me from a programming standpoint. And the, what's his name? Sorry, I forgot the name. I lost him. Oh, there he is. In creation, you're a software engineer. You can probably chime in on this and let me know if I'm full of shit or whatever. But you know, yeah, there's got to be there's better ways to do stuff than just get all actors of class on tick and then and caching versus. Sorry, what was your question here? Let's see. That's the Angel script. Yeah, I know. He had something in C++. He was showing off a function, but I turned off the audio, so we didn't hear what it was, but... opens a project with 5 assets to generate get all actors of class doesn't affect performance. Yeah, I know. I was thinking the same thing, Mark. Skip it to the item pops. Just to show the difference between using it with like 10 actors versus 1,000 actors. Well, okay, if you have... Well, let's see here. Skip ahead. Yeah, sorry, I'm just catching up on some stuff here. Some comments. Okay, here's the one I was looking for. And then someone commented and moved it up. Sorry. There's benefits of having it in a cache. So when you're caching it, you're using the same data from the first pass, right? So like if you get all actors to class and it outputs that array, you cache that array, it's just going to access that all of those items. All those items are basically registered within that specific variable, right? So you can access them right away. If you get all actors to class again, you're just getting a new, it's not a copy, right? But it's just like a new pass on getting the data, right? Which does take CPU time or whatever, right? So by caching it, you don't take CPU time. You're just accessing what you basically already had access to begin with, if that makes sense. Probably not, but and if they're dynamic, like I said, I think if there's a better way to do it than get all actors class. I'll do blueprints just the same and trace it with insights. Either way, the take of get all actors class not being okay on tick is just not true. I mean, yeah, I'll have to test that, but yeah, I don't think it's, I wouldn't do it anyway, to be honest, in my experience. Like I said, there's just better ways to do it. Like, you could cast on tick if you wanted to, but you don't, right? You cast on event begin play and cache the variable, right? So I don't think that, I just think it's a waste of it's just bad logic flow in my opinion. Okay, so David's got the next bug. Sorry, Real Time said it was much easier in Unreal. Where the hell did it go? Unreal only had a set and disable post-processing effect on the camera for it. Oh, okay, nice. So it's easier in Unreal than Unity to do that effect we just saw. That's awesome. Key consideration, performance, impact. This function could be slow if called frequently if there are thousands of actors as it iterates through every actor on the scene. So yeah, that's actually just going off of what Mark just said. The get all actors a class uses hash bucket, so it doesn't actually go through every single actor in the scene. That's a myth that was debunked a while ago. Funny thing about Flashlight is it's from an IES profile packed, and I bought back in 4 point whatever. Okay, I see. Nice. Why are we bringing the tick video inside the Tarkov debug sesh, bruh? And then In Creation says, my Unreal knowledge is still a bit limited, frankly. Avoid C and C++ like the plague. You should be able to cache pointers rather than values in general, but I'm not sure the right way in UE. Oh yeah, okay. Compared to overlap. All right, sorry, David. I'm gonna go back up here and okay. So you got another bug here. So to reap this replicate this bug. Sorry, drag in your storage box rifle and rotate it inside. Sorry, drag in your storage box rifle and rotate it inside the backpack and try swapping. Oh, okay, copy. Yeah, I know exactly. I think I know exactly what you're talking about here. So I'll stop simming here. And we will click on this guy, go to the storage inventory. Oh yeah, it's already in there. So yeah, you said to go up here, make sure this gets rotated, and then swap this. I see. So, obviously that'll be in the key item slot, I suspect. Key item slots. That'll be graph, that'll be set key item. So right here, I would add set rotated as well. Sorry, rotate item, there it is. That's where that would go. Should rotate false. And we'll just move this down here so we can see. All right. And that'll fix the bug. I'm sure that that's what the solution is. I didn't even check and see if you had the solution available already. But yeah, that fixed the bug, so great. All right, so... Okay, so I'm just catching up on some comments here. Event tick on client isn't bad, right? I mean, your game's ticking no matter what. Like, there is obviously ticks happening specifically only on the server. And then specifically only in individual clients. So it's just this, you have to take the same approach on the client as you would in a single player game, right? So... sorry, catching up. I have the solution. Was that the solution? Yeah, that's the solution. Great. Okay. I'm glad we nailed that. Alright, I know it will cycle through the children buckets. I disagree with the overlap is way more expensive because you're doing it once, right? You're doing it once, and then you're, and like I said, if you're changing it dynamically, instead of doing it on tick, you would just do an overlap. Right? TG, I have a Tarkov question. Go ahead, David. Go ahead. We'll answer the Tarkov question on the Tarkov stream. Okay, so... yeah, David, go ahead with your question. We'll hang out here. But anyway, so let's have a look here at... I will open up another copy of Unreal here and open up some other projects here so that we can look at. I glazed over you talking to yourself. Mark, you are a jerk. But but only to those that deserve it. That's funny. Mark's our little, like, attack dog, basically. Anyways, okay, so... what was I going to show you guys? Yeah, so I've... just so you guys know, I haven't started Module 2 at all. I've, like, barely prepped it, to be honest. I've kind of started to redirect my channel because the videos that I've been doing the last 12 weeks have been doing very well. So, yeah, I mean, to be honest, if I just did Tarkov and then was starting to prep Module 2, like, my channel would not have grown as much as it has in the last month and a half, so, I think it's, I'm not sure, I will do it eventually, but I'm not sure when, just so everybody's aware. Overlap and tick can both be expensive in their own ways. Yeah, yeah, 100%, that's true. Right? How can my feet smell if I don't have a nose? I'll be an attack dog. I still like my favorite attack dog moment, which actually Azura was in the stream chat at that time, was when that guy came in and was like, "What's your credentials?" And then everyone just like lost their goddamn minds. That was so good. Anyways, so I can't remember what I was going to show you guys now. I can't remember. I was going to show you this. That's the project I'm working on, but yeah. So, David, where's your Tarkov question? I got my credentials right here between these 5 clenched fingers. I totally did not think that's what you were going to say when I started reading that. I thought you were going to say it was like between your legs or something. Got my credentials right here between these legs. Ugh. Posted the question in the Discord. Copy that. I'll have a look. Discord general, this one here, right? Yeah. Posted them where? Show me the money. Yeah. Discord inside of UE help forum. You did? Am I blind? Is it this one? No, that was somebody I helped with the other day. Stalker. See, here it is. 8 days ago, is this the one? Okay, yeah, copy. I have one question. How do they implement the thing in Tarkov? The question, when I open the storage box, for example, instead of dragging the item for the storage inventory to the player, I want to also make the alternative way that if I hover over the item and shift click, it will automatically go into the appropriate key slot storage grid of the player's inventory. And the alternate way, if I hover and shift click, it will automatically go into the appropriate key slot. That's not that complicated. I'm just trying to think how I would do this. Obviously, you'd have to add an input, so we can start with that. I also was thinking, I didn't put this in the series, having something automatically, or sorry, something that you can rotate yourself by pushing like control or something like that. I was thinking about that. Would that screw some stuff up? Probably, but we'll see here. So essentially, what you're looking for is we open this up. You can just get rid of that. We open this up. Sorry, not this one. The what's it called? This guy. So we open this up. You double click this, and it goes straight into your key item slot. Also, we could add where if you had more items in here, you could double click it and you can see if it's a... Yeah, here's how we'll do that. So, I would even just say double click the item instead of shift, whatever the case is. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, so if you double click, then it would move it to your backpack storage. But if you hold shift click, it'll try to apply it first to this, and then if it doesn't, then maybe the backup is to go into the backpack storage or something like that. What do you think about that? Hold shift, get input event, calls swap to new container. Enhance input modifiers. How to shift click items. Okay. So let's focus on the input first because I think that's possibly the big question mark here for peoples. So let's create a new input here called auto assign key item. Okay, let's open that up. Yeah, it'll be a modifier. Basically, what's in creation one said. So this will be a Boolean, but I think it's a trigger actually. You wanted I think it's a coordinate action. So do we have to create another one? I've actually not done coordinate action before. It was in beta for a long time, and same with combo. Coordinate action. Yes. So, do we create another input then? Let's maybe create another one. And you know what? I actually think that we should create a separate IMC as well for this. So I underscore, what's it called? Key item swap, we'll call this. Sorry, key item swap, what? Sure, we'll keep it at that. Open this up, so we're gonna leave this exactly as is. Auto assign key item. We'll, yeah, coordinate action, and first we will do key item swap. So I believe both of those have to be true in order for this to fire. We'll test that off in a second here. But yeah, I think we should do a separate IMC, everybody. So we got the default here. So number 1. Yeah, mouse look should be fine. Defaults. This may break some stuff, but we'll see. So yeah, we'll make a new IMC. Inputs, input IMC. Get the fuck over there again. There you go. IMC, we'll call this UI because there's going to be quite a bit of stuff happening, right? So, all right, so add a mapping. So of course we're going to need a open menu because that's going to close our menu, right? So make that tab. Then we're going to need auto assign key item, which we'll say is left click, because we this has it assigned where we have to push shift left click as well, right? Let's create another action as well, and we'll call it swap item, I guess. And this is going to be have a trigger of repeated tap. Number of taps in which to trigger repeats. We'll say 2. That looks all good, so let's save, and then we'll go back to the IMC and we'll put that one in there too. Swap item. Okay, and that'll be left mouse as well. Okay, so that's perfect. Anything else we should put in here? Escape, how about that? Let's an open menu for tab. Let's add another one here and put escape there, just because that's nice to do that. What else do we need in here? Double click to equip. Well, so I don't want to do double click to equip because I would want this to apply to all the items, even the non-key items. So I think double click should be to move it to your backpack, and then shift click should be to equip it to your key item slot. I think that's how we should do it. Yeah, David said, David and I think the same things, man. I've just, like, I'll say it out loud, then the next comment is David saying the same thing I literally just said. Add Tesla tanks. Can you imagine? Is it going to look like the Scorpion from Halo 1? Just like how the Tesla truck looks like the Warthog from Halo 1? Are we doing common UI? No, we're not. We're doing a Tarkov debug, so someone just asked how we would do something I actually think I probably should have included in the original tutorial. But, anywho's, let's, so yeah, you guys like all that? I'm sure there's nothing else that I can think of in there. But, we gotta assign this IMC now and remove the old one. Okay, so we're gonna do that. Let's open the HUD class and do it in there. So we'll go framework, HUD class, Okay, so right here, we're going to... we got the player states. We're going to get player controller. This is, by the way, safe to do in multiplayer as well because the HUD is a part of the controller that, right, if this is a part of, so this is a safe one to do. So then we're going to do get player controller. We're going to get the enhanced local player subsystem. First, we're going to remove mapping context, which will be our default. And then we are going to add mapping context, which will be our UI. Okay. When we close our menu, which I believe is all handled in the menu itself, unless we did it in that function we created. We had, oh, here it is. Standard functions, on key down override. We might actually cancel that. Let's do it in our inventory widget or character menu, the character inventory, this one. Interesting. No, maybe, sorry, maybe I'm high. Oh, it is this one, main inventory widget. On key down, we trigger, there should be event close menu right here, so set visibility, then we're going to get player controller. And then we're going to get the enhanced local player subsystem, and I'm just going to copy these so I don't have to get them again. Copy that. Paste that. Targets. Targets, and then these will swap. So we're going to remove UI, and then we're going to defaults. Do we need to not do this now? Let's see. That'll change some things, won't it? Okay, so I mean, this all works still. And then if I hit escape, that stops the simulation. So hang on, there's a debug we can look at. Enhanced, sorry, no, debug. You're here somewhere. I gotta start over because I don't remember what the hell it's called. Debug inputs. There you are. Okay, so right now we have the IMC for default, and then as soon as we interact with our inventory, I can't quite see it. Okay, so we do have the UI. We have all the actions here for open menu, swap item, tab escape. We don't have, oh, auto assign key items, so that's not firing. That's interesting. I think it's because it might be because we're in UI only, you know what I mean? The game mode, so. Okay, so. Reading some comments here. I am Jedi, yeah. Why wouldn't we do common UI? Is there a good reason? I mean, I just made this from scratch, so no, I mean, I don't have a reason why I didn't use it. I just did this, this way specifically. How about you rotate when you want to rotate instead of leaving it to the bounds? Yes, like I said, I think that we would, okay, for an input key, sure, let's put that in there too. Inputs, action, rotate item. Okay, that'll be an easy control. So, and I'll go into the controller and implement all these actually as well. I think perhaps they weren't firing because of that reason, but anyways. Here we go. Rotate item. Say R, I guess. Or actually, let's do control. There we go. Save. Let's actually make this so that you have to hold it. Or, forget it. Let's make it toggleable. Okay, so let's go to the controller now. Framework. Player controller. Just swap out the Scorpion's main cannon with a Tesla coil. Man, that sounds badass. Can we make that in our community game? Can we just make a tank with a Tesla coil? It just shoots, like, energy, basically. Which Halo? Mark has activated stealth mode, yeah. Now, I was gonna say I've only played Halo once in my life. What? Crazy. I have Halo 2 soundtrack on CD somewhere. Why? You guys are old enough to know CDs, right? Yeah, right. I played the first 3 Halos way too much. Yeah, 100%, man. The first 3 Halos... The first Halo... So, okay, I was thinking about this yesterday. The Nintendo 64 was extremely revolutionary because of the 3D graphics and how it kind of pioneered the 3D realm, I guess. But, honestly, like, the first Xbox completely, like, reinvented that scope, right? Because, like, think of playing a game like Nintendo 64, like go back and play GoldenEye or go back and play any of the James Bonds. It's awful. Like the controls suck so hard. It's almost unplayable now. But yeah, Halo obviously twin stick thing. I know PlayStation did it kind of first, but yeah, it was just made FPS so much fun to play. So yeah, played the shit out of Halo 1. Successfully speedrun Halo 1 actually, so that was fun. Halo 2, yeah, so good. The remake for Halo 2 was so good, like the remaster or whatever. But yeah, I'm waiting for the Halo 3 remaster. Okay, YouTube picked up on what Mark's been saying, because honestly, I can only call people so much stuff before YouTube puts you in timeout. Yeah, I guess, yeah. Will IMC work inside the normal UI? Yes, it should. I thought it only worked inside common UIs. I mean, no, I don't think so. Because I just did it yesterday in my project. Here, I'll open the project I'm working on in this other version of... So you need to control the cursor with free move on the controller. If you locked in, you can only move by selectables. Actually, you know what? The only difference between this Tarkov thing and this project that I'm opening is I'm not inside a UI menu, so that's probably why it's working out. Alright, so massively preferred making visual cursors that are a bit more... a bit to set up, but they're nice to have. Yeah, for sure. What I do is set input mode and game mode UI and then disable input. That way you don't need a separate IMC. Yeah, but I mean, after doing it here, I liked what I was doing here. So anyways, I'll do the same thing here. Sorry, I just gotta load all the textures and stuff. There we go. Okay, that's just exactly what was happening. Debug... inputs, this one. So you can see I got my actions up top there. It contacts IMC actions, right? So I can do all the regular stuff. Animations jank as shit. I just gave up on it for now. But anyways, I hit control. I go into build mode, and now you can see that I've taken off my actions and I have build mode and I can build stuff now, right? So. Yeah, so something I created yesterday. A couple of bugs and stuff I got to work out still. Like it won't build there because it thinks it's being blocked by something for some reason. But yeah, but it works on some sides, but not all. I don't know. Doesn't make any sense to me. But anyways, I'll figure that out. But yeah, so that's the debug for that. Debug. God damn it. I wish you could just select stuff you've already just selected. Unless, like, you can and I'm just missing it. There it is. State playing. Yeah, I added this yesterday, by the way. Like, the smooth camera. So, like, you know, you can go far back or as close as you want to the character. And then as soon as you go into build mode, it'll transition the camera over to the side nice and slow. Or sorry, not nice and slow, but just gradually. And then it'll go back to your last camera position. So, yeah, I set that up yesterday. But anyways, back to Tarkov, because that's what we're here for. So, alright, we got this. Let's see if we can get this to work. We're in the controller, perfect. I'm gonna make a new event graph for UI controls. And we'll get I open menu. Oh, okay, you can only do it in one spot. Copy. I mean, sure, whatever. We'll probably have to create a thing for menu open then, I guess. We got an override in there already, so that's fine. What are the new ones we made? We made I underscore key item swap. Swap item and rotate item were like the new ones. Okay, for key item swap, we'll have to get an interface to the HUD class so we can talk to all the stuff. Or we can just call the HUD class, I guess. Well, let's just see if we can get this triggered anyway. This is a key item triggered. Sorry, print string. Swap item triggered. These damn print strings, hey? They're bogging down my game. Rotate item triggered. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Hit play. I'm just gonna open my UI. So I'm gonna hit Control. I gotta select a debug object. Yeah, nothing's happening, so it must disable it altogether. So I'm gonna try to... Where is it here? Just as a testing thing. We're gonna skip this. Oh, get in there. Okay, so it does trigger it, but we have to disable movement, basically. Or maybe we can remove that IMC as well. Maybe let's try that. So yeah, the set input mode to UI only, and yeah, we'll see if that affects us here. I'm just testing stuff. I don't know if this is gonna work. I'm just kind of thinking about it, right? So... Then we're gonna do mouse look. Okay, yeah. So we actually can interact with all of our stuff. Still. Okay. Then we can go to main inventory widgets. This won't have focus though, so this will be interesting to see if this works. We'll go over here. We'll add mapping context. I'll look at the... I just saw the chat move, so I'm sure there's a couple of messages for me to look at here. Just give me 2 secs. Okay, let's see. Open it. Okay, we can move stuff. We can interact with it. All that. Cool. We're gonna hit tab. Yeah, that's what I thought. This doesn't have focus now, so we can't exit with that traditional means, but... I'm curious, I didn't just create a bunch of copies, did I? No, no, okay, good. So, that'll work, I guess. Sorry, I forgot to test the other ones. So, rotate item triggered, swap item triggered by double-clicking, and then shift-click is not working, so... maybe we do right-click... Yeah, maybe we do right-click is swap item, and then maybe left-click. Unless I just did this wrong, possibly. That's possible. Anyways. Let's see... Coughs and Dreamcast, funny. I massively have preferred making visual cursors. Yeah, sorry, I read that already. That splash screen looks cute. Thanks, man. Tier says, using Gasp. How do you like that system? I just thefted the animations, to be honest. like the states and stuff, like the state choosers and all that kind of stuff, with the new system, I have literally zero knowledge on, so I can't, I haven't implemented it into a game, so it's possible that I'll learn how to do it and then just implement it into this game that I'm working on, but that'll be like significantly later because I'm just working on prototype-y stuff right now, so. Are you going to do a TUD on this building system? No, not one bit. It's in C++, which I struggled to put together already, and I'm not even done yet, so. I'm in desperate need of a build system in my game. I'll tell you what, David, when I get it working, I'll share the building subsystem with you if you want. I'm living in a box, I'm living in a bright green box. I don't know how that song actually goes. Tier, did you manage to figure out how to open the storage inside multiplayer? What kind of a build system, like a snap or just a world placement? It's both, right? So it's gonna... I'll go back and show it off. So, like I said, there's a couple bugs here, so... but what I've done is... if you see if I move slowly, it does 0.25 meter increments, right? But inside of this, the build subsystem that I have it so that... because if I didn't have this, it would be really jittery. Like, it would be literally, like, doing the whole, you know, skipping every 0.25 or whatever. But so I'll move, it'll lock onto whatever the position is, and then it'll set the target position, and then it'll slowly smooth where this kind of preview mesh goes. Right? So I put it on post physics as well, like I showed in my tick video. So, yeah, so that's nice and smooth. And then it's... looking for something if it's hit the ground, and then it's going to put it where the impact point normal is. So one thing I haven't tested yet, which I will just throw a thing out now and see if I can get it to work. This guy. I want to throw this out. I want to see if I can get it to snap to the proper normal. If not, that's something else I got to do. Okay, so let play, and I'll run over there. Way over there. But yeah, so, and if it's not hitting anything, it'll just be at the end of the line trace, which is set at 1,000 currently. So it looks like it doesn't do that yet. Okay, so I gotta I gotta do some more coding, obviously, because yeah, I gotta get the impact normal of that particular mesh and then place the Z along there, right? So, sorry, what? Attached to... Oh, it's set to static. Oh, okay, so it's got to be not set to static? Whatever, okay, that's something I can figure out later. But anyways, for the other part of the build system, it's, I can place and remove stuff. So that's literally all I've scripted so far. I haven't scripted anything else. I'm just doing test cubes at the moment. What else? What else would you ask? Yeah, so right now it does snap, so if it... my line trace obviously is going from the middle of the camera. I don't have like a UI, you know, crosshair or anything like that yet, but if I hit something that's under the specific trace channel of buildable block, then it'll snap this to that block. But this, yeah, right now, yeah, there's something wrong with the box extents, because I had it encapsulate the cube itself, but then shrunk it by 2 points, so that it's not overlapping, right? Because if you snap it to here, technically that box extent is touching that other block, so it'll return back that it's being blocked, like it's doing right here, but for some reason, you know, you can do it here, right? So the box extent must be just kind of off center a little bit somewhere. So I just gotta figure that out, but I should be able to... Oh yeah, even on top I can't do that yet, so that's lame. Oh well. Anyways. Gasp is evil. Oh wait, I'm thinking of gas. What kind of gas are you talking about? But, Takengracse, that'll be awesome. Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. So, there's a couple things in this thing okay, actually, I didn't mention this to everybody because not everybody's a member, but, I'm in the last stage of getting certified as an Unreal Engine authorized instructor, so I just got to create a tutorial for them, basically. So I'm going to do it on the I don't know if I'll release it on the channel or whatever, but because I basically made a video about this like 8 months ago. But anywho's, so I was thinking about doing it on this exact system I just made, which where is it here? Content blueprints. So we're having a crop system. So I got a crop spawner here. Okay, so there's my crop spawner. I'm just gonna make a couple, right? So I made crops before, right? So and then I kind of added some other things that I've showed off before in the past. But anyways, made some data assets. So carrots. That's carrots, right? And then there's just one thing I want to figure out here, which is to put these in editor time. But you can't... I think you have to blocking load it, so I can maybe figure that out later. But anyways... What else we got here? Whoops. And then we got, you know, pumpkins, sure, whatever. So there it is. It's just telling me what it is, and then I'll hit play. Let's do crop age, like, 2, so they're at least something different. There we go. So yeah, I had to load all the static meshes in, but yeah, there, you know, there it is, right? So they've dynamically. Let's just mature those. Just go max. Oh, those are dead. Sorry, 5's dead. There you go, right? So it's loaded it in with a data asset, and I just had to put in a blueprint, and everything's super decoupled, right? So I'll open this guy up. So yeah, I was thinking about making the tutorial for Epic about this. I think that'd be a good one to do, to showcase off I guess my skills as a teacher. So yeah, so all we're doing is we're getting the static mesh from the data asset, right? So let me open the data asset, the primary. There it is, right? So there's the function. Get the static mesh based on the age of the plant, and return back what that mesh is, and then you load it inside of your crop spawner. Right, so you load it async, and you know, cast a static mesh, all that shit, and then add an instance, right? So, and we're doing an instance so that if you have 1 million crops on it, it's not going to be any hindrance on performance. Okay, and then I just have a thing for aging the crops, right? So, crop age goes up, we set the crop age to whatever, right? And then get the new static mesh, load it, set it, done. So super easy, and that's a very scalable system, because now all I got to do is make a data asset for a new crop and assign the static meshes to that particular thing, and then we're done, right? So crop, yeah, so like here's carrots. There's all the stages, how much it yields. You can probably randomize that too. You can say max yield or something like that, or minimum yield and max yield, and then you can just get a random amount between those. Might you implement that at some point, but yeah, there you guys go. That's how I did that crop thing, so that's probably what I'll do the video on. The tutorial, sorry. Oh shit, you're gonna have credentials now? Yeah, right, man? I'm gonna be like, well, based on how this video goes, that's how they give you, like, your, what, I guess, tier of credentials you have. So you can get, like, a bronze, silver, or gold certified instructor badge. So that's based on the tutorial that you make. So we'll see how that goes. I have a crop system in my game. Nice, man. Is it similar to what I just did, or is it a little bit different? That's awesome, bro. You'll definitely get that title. Thanks, man. Yeah, it won't be for a little bit, though, because I gotta obviously make the tutorial, which I'll probably do next week, and then I'll probably release it on the fucking thing. Why not? You know, might as well kill two birds, right? So, yeah, then I gotta send it in. It takes like 4 weeks for them to, like, evaluate it or whatever, so it'll be like a month or so before I know what's going on. Tier, if you want to go, we can go over with you. Crazy thing multiplayer is, yeah, pretty much. Trying to convert Tarkov to multiplayer has been really tough, to be honest. I got frustrated and kind of gave it a rest and then never went back to it at this point, so... but anyways, okay, back to this. So, right, so, just give me a sec here. Okay, so I think in order to get this to work... So, okay, actually, do we want to do the mapping IMCs? Because I'm sure in your games, you're going to want, like, you know, control to be, like, crouch and, like, you know what I mean? Double click to be... I don't know, something, I don't know, whatever, right? So, just splitting up the inputs seems to make sense to me. I just want to test it and see if it actually works, right? So, let's speak in the HUD interface... close inventory menu. Not for the faint of heart, the free voxel plugin, right? I've been at war making my own editor assets. The information on it is so little. Boy, is it fun, though. Yeah. Oh, like plugins? Yeah, man. I've not made any plugins, but I'm pretty impressed with some of the plugins that I do have. Specifically, if you guys don't have... like, I made a day-night cycle in... which is on the Fab store, but, like, don't buy it. Buy this instead. Where the hell is it? Right here. Ultra Dynamic Sky, which I think there's a bundle that you can get for $70, but it also comes with Ultra Dynamic Weather. Bro, this thing is like minty. Like, first of all, the documentation for it is like insane. Like, they made a widget. What do you call it? Utility widget for it. Controls. I don't see them. Well, here, how about this? I'll select... There it is, Ultra Dynamic Sky. So, time of day, you can set time of day, right? And you can customize the sky. Like, that skybox looks so good. Looks so good. Color mode, sky atmosphere, volumetric clouds. You can do 2D clouds instead. No clouds. Oh, right? Static clouds. And what else? We got fog, we got contrast, dusk. You can set your sun down, sun up time, or sorry, sunrise, sun set time. Where's the sky for the static clouds, cloud movement, cloud wisps, sim, sun? Yeah, you could sun, moon. Yeah, render the moon. Where is it? At night, you can like set planets and stuff, which is so badass. Directional light, cloud shadows, exposure, fog color. Like there's so many controls to just get the exact look that you're looking for your game. It's awesome. Dusts. Where are the stars? Here we go. Twinkling speed, space layer, planets and moons. So you can just add one. Where is it? I can't see. Like, you could literally select the planets. Color texture? No. Okay, you can come up here. I just want to see stuff. Planets and moons. Am I looking at this the wrong way? I swear to God. Like, I added this in another project. Well, first of all, we gotta find the planet. Oh, it's right there. Big ass planet. Look at that. So, you know, we can make it whatever color we want. Come on now. Come on now. There we go. You know, big red planet. We could add some rings. Render ring. Look at that, right? Ring pitch. Like, man, that's so badass. Like, there's nothing in this on the entire marketplace that's going to beat this asset, like 100%. So, anyways, we'll set the time of day again to, you know, this. My planet's gone. I'm sad, right? Oh, it's right there. Nice, awesome. Okay, cool. Anyways, that's the old version 1, though. Oh yeah, I mean, shit. Do I need anything else in version 1? Like, what's in version 2 that's not in version 1? TG, how do you make an AI path around each other? I want artificial intelligence, not artificial idiocy. How do you make AI path around each other? Well, so, as you know, I'm fucking ignorant to AI for the most part, but I think N is the shortcut, isn't it? I don't have one in this level, but I'll probably need one eventually. Is it in volumes? Yeah, nav, mesh, yeah. So, can I right-click this and make it the whole level, or am I thinking of a different volume? I'm thinking of the post-process volume, where you can just tell it to be boundless, basically. I'll just type boundless. Is boundless in here? Relevant for level bounds. Okay, maybe not. So, okay, we'll make this huge, right? Say like 50, right? Sure, right? And then I push N, right? How do you see the... Now, oh, P. There we go. So yeah, like, as characters walk around, don't they displace This is just a theory, okay? So this is just me thinking. Yeah, don't they displace the navigation map so like they should know to not like walk into each other? You know what I mean? You know what? Actually, if that's not the case for you, I think the issue might be. I'm just trying to find my character here. Character, player character. Here we go. So interesting. So I think what you would do in this case, I'll do to my character base because I'll have to do this in my game anyway. There's something in here that's called affects navigation. Mesh, here it is. Can ever affect navigation. Character movements, capsule components. Let's say the capsule components. Right? So, that should work in terms of, like, deforming the mesh. So, I'll just leave him here. He's going to be in the world, obviously. Apostrophe, get rid of this. This is in my way, or I tried to get rid of this. Where do we want? Perception system. Where's the, oh, nav mesh is 0. There it is. 0. Yeah, so would that mean he can't walk there? this is just a theory of mine, right? Because like I said, I don't know AI that much. But, you know, you see you put this here, obviously that they can't walk there because that's been messed up. But, yeah, I don't know. What are you guys thinking here? Oh, it's version 1. Oh, okay, copy that. For the voxel plugin. Perfect. Are they colliding with each other? A game theory. No, the AI is dumb as hell. It's the Detour Crowd AI controller. Boom, thanks, TG. Oh, did that fix it? Did that, what I said, like, again, that was a theory. I was just literally shooting in the dark there. The AI will go around the red area. Okay, perfect. So, I like how my intuition just kind of figured it out, I guess. So, anywho's there. Okay, so... Oh, I just realized that these weren't set to max age before whatever it's called. Play. There we go. Now we got full-on carrots and onions. Look at that. Super nice. Alright, anyways. I'll need some help with animation later because my animation is jank. Because, like I said, I didn't use the states for animation, the gasp, right? So, I mean, it looks good. I set up the blend space. Everything looks fine there. I mean, there's a bit of jitteriness to it. But my jump is, like, super broken. I had to, like... I might need a, sorry, like, look at this, right? I'm sliding after I jump. I had to, like, cut down the animation so that it made sense, but, yeah, maybe I'll figure that out and put it into this game. Our game's gonna have chibi characters, like you guys kind of saw in the splash screen. Right here. Content splash. There it is. Yeah, so... Yeah, here's the splash screen, so we're gonna have little chibi characters like that. So I've been trying to find a skeleton. I found a skeleton that had a chibi character in it, but it was, I don't know, whoever made it didn't rig it to the Unreal Engine skeleton, and it's just, it was an absolute nightmare to retarget, so I was like, fuck this, I'll just figure this out later. So, yeah. But, anyways. Alrighty, so... Let's go back to Tarkov. Sorry, I got super distracted there. So... We're trying to figure this out. I did make a interface to close the inventory menu, which I think what I'll do is I'm not going to delete this yet. I'm just going to... I'll basically copy all this so that I can properly set it all in the other thing. But yeah, I don't want to delete it in case it doesn't work. I don't want to redo a bunch of work, right? So, HUD class, interface... We'll compile, and close the inventory menu right here. Okay, we'll paste that. Okay, so show most cursor false, that's true. We're gonna not do this node, because that node broke stuff. Storage inventory. So we need to get our main inventory widget and then get storage inventory and then plug that in here. Delete that. Delete this. Clear children. Then we need to do the same thing here. We need to get the main inventory widgets. We'll get the background blur. Get storage inventory. Hopefully I'm talking into my microphone. And enemy, get enemy inventory. Sweet. That's all the same. Nice. Okay, and then we'll have to put the control into our controller if we didn't do that already. Key item. Okay, sorry. We have to go into regular controls. Unless we create a new control called close menu. Maybe let's do that. Inputs, actions, input, action, close menu. And then we'll put that in the UI IMC instead. Close menu. Save. Let's go to the controller. Let's go back to this UI controls and then we'll slide that in there. Close menu. Okay. And then we'll get our HUD, which I think we have a reference to in here. We don't, but it doesn't matter because we're going to call it an interface anyway. So, what do we call it? Close menu, right? There we go. Okay, let's see if this works. And then we got to fix the issue, right? Okay, a couple of other issues we got to fix. Oh shit, we didn't do one thing inside of the HUD class, which is to remove this from parent. Main inventory, remove from parents. Okay, yeah, so we set all those to collapse because if we open our menu again, we don't want to see our old storage thing that we had access to, right? So, open that up, we don't care. Very good. Cool, that works. And then all my controls come back. I open our inventory menu and nothing happens. That's so good. So, this didn't work here. So, this goes away. Set visibility to visible. We got to re-add it. Yeah, we got to re-add it to the parent. So this goes away now. Or re-add it to the parent. You guys know what I meant. Okay, let's have a look here. That'll fix that issue. Open the menu. So it just created them all, but it's still not adding it to the viewport. Oh, because the visibility is probably set to collapse, isn't it? By default. So we do need this, I suppose. And I think another thing we need to do is set focus, possibly. Set user focus. I don't know if that's the right one. Set user focus. Yeah, that's probably what we got to do. Just because we do need focus on that so we can interact with all of our stuff, right? Okay, so it did work. I did have to click on this to get focus on it, though, which was a little strange, but yeah, so that works great. So yeah, the first click doesn't work. Because if we set the... oh, actually, you know what? Sorry, hang on. What if we do this instead? What if we set... Sorry, it's got to be out of the game, the controller. Set game inputs to game and UI. Oh! right? Fuck, that solves some problems, doesn't it? So we do have to add it to the viewport and set its visibility. We'll get rid of this one. We'll move these down. Sometimes these nodes just come to my brain. I don't know what happens. But widget to focus on will be this guy. Hide cursor during capture. I'm going to say false. We are going to flush our inputs. Because then we're going to remove our mapping context. Okay. That seems fine. Okay, let's check that, and then I'll look at some comments. Sorry, I just get hyper-focused on this kind of shit. So, we did that. Nice. That worked perfectly, actually, so that's great. Let's first see if we can still access all of that stuff. I just got to fix the inputs for the other ones. Perfect. Awesome. Okay. The print string of doom. Alright. The detour crowd controller comes with the engine. You can utilize other methods, but it does a fairly good job of avoiding each other. Okay, nice. You would think that they would see, with their perception, that they're going to run into something and be like, I probably shouldn't run into that. I don't know. You know what I mean? So there's two things okay, actually there's more than two things I want to focus on in terms of me learning, and then I'll eventually make tutorials on them. Number one is smart objects. I think smart objects are super cool. So I want to learn more about smart objects, okay? So that's coming down the pipe at some point. I really want to learn more C++ stuff. There's two videos I have planned. Not anytime soon. Maybe by the end of the year. Number one is, like, my journey in learning C++. So I've been, like, recording snippets of me learning C++, how fucking frustrating it was to even get started doing it. And how I overcame, I guess, some of the obstacles, just because I know that there's going to be a lot of people who want to learn C++ that have already dabbled in blueprints. And just to see how I dealt with it and how I went through it, I think that video would do not only very well in terms of viewership and watch time and stuff, but it would be very helpful for you guys to kind of see what to watch out for, I guess. Number two is I do want to do a C++ tutorial, but I don't want to do it soon. I want to super understand what the hell's happening and so I can explain it. C++ is pretty dry, so, you know, I feel like I can make it somewhat entertaining and also make it valuable in terms of, like, how you guys learn it. The other things I want to learn is I want to, like, really get into gas myself, not necessarily for tutorials, but just to, like, really learn it. I do know already enough to, like, get it set up with boilerplate and with a couple of abilities. I haven't finished what's his name series yet, so I do want to work on that myself. And the other thing I want to learn is AI, because we've been having a lot of fun on the community game with AI and stuff, so I do want to learn more about that so I can maybe do some tutorials on it, and, you know, I can get some help with it from David, because David seems to know what the hell he's doing with that kind of stuff anyway, so. But we should make some smart objects for Bionic Smash. That'd be great. I don't want to learn on stream because it just, like, I don't know, I learn better when I can just, like, test stuff and all that kind of stuff, but I just don't think it'd be very entertaining. I'm keen to learn C++, but it gives me headaches. Yeah, so it's been rough for me, for sure. Where's my other project here? So, you know, let me open up, well, I can push P and get rid of that because we don't need it right now. Let's open this up. Content controller, right? Yeah, framework controller. I screwed up the file, the folder organization in this, by the way. I was really pissed off, and it, like, made me lose a bunch of what's it called, progress and stuff. So anyways, build controls, remove piece. I'll open this up, and if you guys are C++ users and you see something that is totally fucking wank, just, like, let me know, because, like, I'm literally making this up as I go. So it all works right now, which is really great. I am getting a lot of help from Copilot explaining stuff to me and all that kind of stuff, but yeah, so yeah, I have this building subsystem. So in my header, in my header file here, obviously, like, I'm setting all the functions and parameters and variables and stuff in here, right? So and then defining a bunch of other stuff that I need in my C++ file. So, yeah, there's a lot of errors that happen. I'm like, I don't know what the hell's going on, you know, and then I have to get Copilot to explain it, and then I'll be like, hey, just fix the errors already. Like, I'm fucking over it, right? So, yeah, I'm slowly learning it. I'm doing a course too on it, so it's been a frustrating experience for me. So you guys will learn about that in the video, right? So I don't know how to make smart objects, but I can learn. You know what, David? I think okay, well, again, you know, I did promise you guys multiple modules for this Tarkov thing. I do have to do that at some point, but I do want to learn new stuff. So, you know, you guys watching here, you guys are the ones that are like the most dedicated community members. You guys have pretty much all done Tarkov and stuff, so I will leave it up to you guys. Like, you know, do you want to see it sooner rather than later for a module 2? Which would make me learn more multiplayer stuff, to be honest. There's still a lot of stuff I need to learn, right? We're always learning new stuff. You know, you can specialize in one particular area, or you can learn everything, right? So, which is a huge endeavor. Do you know what's above the Realm Captain role in the Discord? Yes. I think it's Champion, honestly. I don't know how to make... Yeah. Aw, TG loves me. You're funny. He found another thing he enjoys doing in Unreal Engine 5, and that's just rigging random static meshes and making a control rig for them. Dude, Kay, have you seen the epic... Okay, I gotta find it. It is so atrociously bad, I cannot even put into words. Where's my effing... I think it's this one, yeah. So, God, it is so laughably bad. Let's see. Unreal Engine control rig. Oh, it can't be this one. This has got to be new. Okay, yeah. Thank God. Thank God. Because they had one before. This is obviously before I had my channel, I think 2022 or 3. I was learning how to make a control rig, and they had a tutorial in the Epic, like, on this. Unless I can find it here somewhere. Is this it? No, this is an Unreal Engine chat. So this is probably still significantly better than the one I saw. But yeah, anyways, it was an Epic it was on the Epic documentation page of like how to build a control rig, and the person who teached it didn't like explain anything. She's just like, oh yeah, you make a control and parent it to this bone, and then you keep doing that down the skeleton, and I'll see you guys in a sec when you're done that. And then she shows her finished thing, and then she's got like null objects that her things are parented to, and like just zero explanation, and literally everyone in the comments was like, what in the fuck happened here? Like, you didn't explain anything, and then people just had to figure it out. You know, so I did successfully make a control rig, but I wasn't very happy with it, and yeah, it was just a huge waste of my time, to be honest. Learning something with literally no background, because now I can't go back and recreate a control rig from scratch, right? But yeah, that was frustrating. Anyways, I've already started on equipping, unequipping, and swapping weapons in the Tarkov system. Nice, nice. Cool, man. Alright, what time is it? It's 1 o'clock? Okay, so back in this. Okay, we did get this to work, correct? We just gotta do these other things. Also, if you guys are watching and you have issues with Tarkov, I will check the Discord right now here. And we'll see if anybody else posted stuff. Doesn't look like it. Anyways, yeah, so if you guys want to... That's not Tarkov related. Yeah, if you guys want to debug some stuff in Tarkov that's giving you some trouble, let me know, and we'll work on that, but we'll work on this for now. Okay, so... Let's start with the easy one. Okay, so... Trying to think how to do this. I think we'll have to do this in... make another interface. What's all the interfaces that we need to make, I think, is the first thing here. So swap item, key swap. Okay, so we got to make interfaces for all these for the HUD, which to be honest doesn't make any sense. We should just be doing, now that I'm thinking about it, inside your player controller, you don't really need to get HUD and send an interface to keep it decoupled because the fucking HUD lives in the controller. You know what I mean? So, so, you know, on, where is it here? Event graph, begin play, right? Where are we? Like shit, like get HUD, was cast to the controller, to the HUD and cache it. Like, you know what I mean? It's not going to change. Cast to BP HUD class. And HUD, right? it just doesn't make sense to constantly use interfaces when you can just get the fucking HUD that's in your goddamn player controller and just refine it to the one that's already in memory anyway. So, you know what I mean? So, anyways, let's go back to the HUD class. We'll create some events here. So we'll say custom events, rotate item. And one more custom event called swap item. That one's going to be a little tricky. We'll have to create a function inside of the... that'll be tricky. We'll figure that out in a second here. Custom events, and this is swap key item. Okay, rotate item is literally the easiest one. So all we're going to do is we're going to get our drag widget, which we should have a reference to somewhere, right? Components. We didn't store a reference in our HUD. We kept it inside the grid widget, didn't we? We did, so... But we have a event dispatcher up here. Events, so we can set a reference here if we wanted. Let's do that. Promote to variable. Because this will automatically clear this variable for us when we're not dragging an item, because this will be null, right? So this will set it as null. That'll be great. So that's perfect. Okay, so rotate item. We'll check and make sure that the drag widget is valid. Because if it's not valid, we're not going to rotate nothing, right? So if it's valid, great. We're going to take this and we're going to set rotate, or sorry, rotate item. Should rotate. Let's see if that breaks a bunch of stuff. Okay. So we'll open this up. We'll grab it. Push control. Rotate item triggered. Oh, I didn't call the frickin' event because I do that. Like, that should become a frickin' counter on here every time I make an event in the controller and then not call the function. Because I do that literally every stream all the time. UI controls. Rotate item. We're going to get our HUD class. Rotate item. Done. Okay. And we'll do that off of started. And we should actually go back to rotate item, and we should make a trigger on here for press, because we only want this to fire once. Right? We don't want it to like constantly fire, and then it's like constantly, you know, rotating back and forth. Right? You know? Wait! When does that stream end? I feel like Mark's getting ready to steal number one. Yeah, he's gonna come in. He's gonna slide in and give 20 bucks or something like he usually does, right? So... I'm getting so much ClickUp and Base 44 and AI work management platforms ads for some reason on YouTube. Well, you know what? That's because literally every device in your room is listening to you talk, right? So... that's your smart TVs, by the way, if you guys didn't know this. Huge violation of your privacy. Open up your smart TV, go to the settings, go to privacy, and automatically, by default, it can send data about you to third parties, blah, 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 blah. It'll be something like that in there. So that's on by default. Super fucking predatory. I hate that shit. So... yeah, everything, your phone, I uninstalled Facebook on my phone because I don't use Facebook anymore, but it was still listening to me. I wasn't using it. It was on deep sleep mode, still listening to me. As soon as I opened Facebook, it's like my most recent conversations that I had with, you know, Azura or whoever the fuck, had ads on there for it. It's just ridiculous. So yeah, I'm not interested in that shit. Yeah, obviously I'm talking right now too, right? So my computer, everything about my computer is listening to what I'm saying. So yeah, go on your smart TVs right now and go check that privacy setting. I'm not making that shit up. That's fucking super predatory. I heard in the States, I'm pretty sure we don't have this issue in Canada, but I know in the States that I'm pretty sure they were listening through people's TVs to spy on them, like the CIA or something like that was. So that's pretty freaking scary. Also, should I show this on stream? Sure, why not? I watched a YouTube video. I won't show it on stream, but I'll explain it. I watched a YouTube video once where a guy was able to take a circuit board, install, I think it was called Pi on it, the operating system, and he was able to route all of his network traffic through this Pi graph or whatever the case was. And he was able to basically remove all ads from everything that he watched. So like Disney Plus, Netflix, all of those, he just like paid for the ad tier, and it just removed all the ads. I'm like, man, I want that in my life so bad. The one, I don't know if, what's his name still here? Sorry, I keep forgetting the name. The penguin guy. Here he is, yeah. In creation, if you're still here. The one reason I did want to become a software engineer is because I wanted to develop something that could bypass all of these predatory company things. Like, if you buy like a new Ford truck, you can't just swap a part out without taking it into the dealership and having their computer basically confirm that this part is okay to use. I read a story somewhere that one guy, his like switch broke to put his window down. So instead of just swapping the switch out or whatever the case was, they had to replace the entire door panel. It's like, what the fuck, right? And there was another one, I can't remember what it was. But basically, if you swapped out a part, the computer in the truck didn't recognize that part, that serial number, as a part of what came with the truck. You have to literally get a technician at Ford or whatever the fuck to plug in their computer and verify that SID numbers or the serial number's okay now. Like that's freaking bullshit. You know, that's a complete, violation of people's freedom of choice and all that shit. So that pisses me off. So yeah, I wanted to become a software engineer, literally to develop stuff to bypass that kind of bullshit. Because yeah, I hate companies, big corporations. They piss me off. Bro got free YouTube Premium. Just disabled everything in privacy, yeah. And sorry, real time to answer your question, when does the stream end? I don't know, 2:30 maybe. I dropped my kid off. She went to a birthday party. It started at 11, which is why I started the stream later than normal, and she's getting picked up by 2 by Zura, so we'll see. Anyways. TG's gonna create Skynet. Yeah, right? This is super unrelated to the stream, but I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and I was so intrigued with what they were talking about. They were talking about cybernetics and how we're going to enhance ourselves as human beings, essentially, in the next 15, 20 years. And, as of right now, all of us are like, I don't want to ever do that. It's going to make me not a human being and, blah, 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 blah. But the reality is it's going to happen, right? Back in the 1980s, which I'm sure Real-Time Fat Man is, missing at this point, because he keeps talking about the Dreamcast and all that shit. But anyways, so in the 1980s, if you went back in time and talked to Real-Time Fat Man and said, hey, in 2026 we're gonna have AI agents doing a bunch of work, there's gonna be a device like our cell phones that can do literally anything you want. You can watch anything you want at any time. You can access a network of information at any time and learn anything you want at any time. You can call anybody or message anybody in real time, blah, 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 and one device does this. Like, you would sound effing insane, for one. And number two, I'm sure in the 80s they'd be like, oh, well, I'm not going to use any of that kind of stuff, and I'm not going to let my kids use any of that kind of stuff, because that sounds super dangerous, right? But, now at 2000, all these phones and shit start coming out, and it's just like now everybody's, maybe not 2000, but 2007, 8, 9, 10, right? Kids are starting to use cell phones now. And, my kid's not going to use a cell phone, but everybody else's kids are using a cell phone. Well, at some point you're going to give in to the thing, and you basically cannot exist without a phone now. It's like pretty much impossible. Like, there's apps that you have to download to do stuff, like, right, all that kind of stuff. There's like, what do you call it? authentication applications that government uses now, so to prove that you are who you are, like you basically cannot exist without a phone, right? And that's going to be basically what it's going to be like when we all get cybernetics or Neuralink or any of that other kind of shit, right? It's basically going to be impossible to live without it, and we're gonna be forced to get it. That's what's going to happen. Clip this, save this. I'll be right. Skynet is the ultimate privacy invasion stopper. Can't have privacy if you're deceased. Right? Des-Ex, anyone? Yeah, right? Exactly. So, okay, anyways, let's get back into this. So we did pressed for rotate item. Let's set that up in the controller now, which we did. Okay, so let's see if it works. Grab this. Look at that. Oh, but see, it gets overwritten automatically by... If we... okay. So, I think you gotta make a decision. Right? So if it's like, I want to paste it, or, you know, I want to place it, you know, vertically here, you have that, oh, fuck, it doesn't update the grid. Could be an easy fix for that, possibly. We're gonna have to go in the grid widget. There's a couple things we got to fix on that regard for the rotation. I guess it's not as simple as I thought it was going to be. So, okay, grid widget. So the first one I was thinking of is the actual physical this, right? The, where was it? Event graph down at the bottom here. Update slots being hovered. So in here, we check, are we rotated? And if we are, then we update our thing, right? But what overrides this, so this will work fine, but what overrides this is we are targeting, or sorry, as soon as we hit a slot BG, it's going to always check vertical or horizontal first, and then if it can fit in vertical, it'll automatically unrotate it. So that's what we got to contend with here. I actually really like, whoops, I actually really like this setup. The select nodes may be redundant, we'll test on stream. Oh, is that right? Look at that. This select node might be redundant. Why did I put that there? Fucking TG and his shitty notes. Why would that be redundant? Is it because we're getting if we can rotate? No, sorry, that's can rotate. Oh, I see. I think both of these might be... No, that doesn't make sense. It works. I'm not gonna touch it. It fucking works. I'm not breaking it. Right? Guessing because the select note may be redundant. Yeah. Real time. People remember Des-Ex, right? I'm not just being really old again. Nah, man. I know what you're talking about. I've never played the games, but I've definitely seen them, and all of its, well, not all of its sequels, but yeah, I've seen a couple of them. I don't know when the first game of that came out, to be honest. Right? Because I've seen, yeah, like the Wii, I remember had one at one time. I think I had it in my possession. I just never played it. Okay, anyways, so query item placement. This is where it's going to be. You know what? Let's create a thing right here. Well, the thing is, though... No, that's fine. This will work. So, let's pull this back. Let's, The in-item... We don't have the in-item widget, though. That's what we need to check. Fuck, this is used so often everywhere, right? So... This is in the grid widget. So how about we create a variable in the grid widget called force rotate. Force rotated, and let's plug that in right here. Okay, so and then what we'll do in our HUD class right here is we will rotate the item, and then we will get shit. How do we how do we get the specific grid widget? Oh, actually, you know what we should do is this right here. We should maybe add another Boolean to it and add force rotate. Force rotate. Yes, this is going to be great. So, refresh. Perfect. Set dragging HUD. Force rotate will be false there, but down here I think we'll call this event dispatcher again. So we'll call set item dragging. We are dragging because that the drag widget will be valid, right? And then drag widget will just plug back in here, and then we'll force rotate. Okay, and then when we close our item or close our thing, we'll have to sorry, grid widget, where was it? Right here. We got to clear this. Let's clear it on our destruct. Right here, destruct. Actually, it won't matter because the default is false, right? Okay, so let's see if that all works. I'll read some comments here before we test it. What the fuck? Oh yeah, right. Shit. So let's say none for now. I'll compile, and then those still didn't go. Okay, let's delete them all together then. And then where were those set item? Where is it here? Sorry. Has it been deleted? Create signature. Okay, well, let's create an event. Actually, no, I gotta delete that, and I gotta fix the events first. Set drag widget and fires the delegate to clear BG. So other things are using this. So that's unbind. So where do we bind to it? Right here. Okay, so we bind to it here. What event did I do? Sort button. Right here, set drag item. Okay, so we got to delete this event, and then we got to create a new one, essentially. So here, unbind, we'll just create events. Set item dragon, blah, blah, blah. Create events. And then we will make a new matching function. Sorry, not function. Shit. Matching events. There we go. And we'll call this set drag item. Okay, dragging our item. Are we dragging our item? Sorry, that should be like not, right? Set drag item, call dragging item. There's our dragged item. Oh, do I set it here? Okay, are we dragging true set a copy? Okay, that makes sense. And then force rotated, we will set here as well. Alright, everybody, shit. Let's get this going here. Couple of new bugs to work out, eh? Set dragging, and then select function, set drag item, set drag item widget, hit compile. That should make all the errors go away, right? Yes, perfect. Okay, comments. It was first released June of 2000, so I'm very old. I mean, I was 8 years old, so probably was not playing that back in the day, but it's just me wittering on. I like David's, like, you know, whole thing. So, all right, let's test it out here. So, we'll interact with this. We'll grab it. We'll... Interesting. Haha. Interesting. Got some new bugs to work out here. Okay. That clears the drag widget. That also kind of clears the drag widget. Force rotate should be false to start with. What was that function? It was, well, okay, let's close all other tabs to the right and get rid of all those. It was in query, right? Query item placements. Force rotated. Try vertical. Which is false. And then in here, is there anything in here that will calculate target coordinates? Then in here, try, it's not try, oh yeah, that's just to get it over there, and then we should bypass all this and go can rotate. Okay. I gotta see some values, I think. Let's see the, where are we here? Grid widget. This will be grid widget number 3. Force rotated is false. I'm gonna click this. It's still false. Okay, this is it just doing its regular ass thing, but as soon as I hit force rotate, it unhides those. How about this? Okay, I think the control. Let's change it up here. Let's have it hold control, right? So, where's the control here? Contents, inputs, actions, rotate item. Let's do hold. Okay. 0.5 seconds after that, it's fired. So we'll hit, we'll close that. So yeah, when we hold it, that makes no difference. I just realized that makes literally 0 difference. So I'm just gonna undo what I just did. Makes no difference because we set an event dispatcher in the grid widget. This is permanently already set to true, right? So that doesn't solve our issue. What if we go to the event graph, update Harvard slots. Oh, right here. Of course. Force rotate. We'll put that in. Okay, there we go. Let's try that. Dragging around, it's doing its regular ass thing. I'm gonna hit this. Okay, it's staying vertical, which is great. And, but yeah, it unhid that when I hit that button. So let's just go down the chain and see what's happening there. So we go down here, we call this event dispatcher, which is gonna probably be our little, our issue, right? So we're dragging grid widgets. We call dragging. Did I set it to true? Sorry? Yeah, we set it to true. Call dragging item. Let's find references for that. Bind to call dragging. Oh, it's in the SWAT BG, isn't it? Still reacclimating myself to this project. So, alright, in here... It'll be in the event graph. God, everything's freaking open all the time. Hey, close all other tabs. There we go. Bind to clear. Dragging item. This just clears the BG. Oh shit, I'm dumb. It's got to be in the item widgets because we set its visibility, right? Let's have a look. Set item visibility right here. Dragging item. Dragging. Oh shit. Okay. So it's doing exactly what we want it to do, except it's unhiding the item we're dragging. So let's my immediate thought was to add the drag widget into here, right? So just check if it's not self. But is that the best way to do it? What do you guys think? Mark Vanish probably started his hospital again. Yeah, if I were to give Mark advice on his hospital, if he was restarting, to be honest, I would make it modular. I would not do the entire effing hospital inside of Blender because that's going to be awful to render for his game, personally. Why? Because I showed it off before, and you know what? I'm trying to compile together a list of things that people don't really know, and possibly make a video on it. This one's. Let me pull up the short because I made a short about this, and I think in the short I'm like I'm not sure why blah blah blah, but I know why now. So let's see here. Sorry, I'll go to my dashboard. Hooray! Actually, that's outdated, isn't it? Unless I just lost a bunch of subscribers. That's possible. All right, I lost 11 subscribers. Everybody, who cares? That's, you know, who cares? I'm just kidding. But anyways, so is that true? That's actually sad. Where are we here? See live counts. Dang. But if I look at my phone, well, my phone's my camera, so I can't look. But yeah, I had 7503 before the stream started, so that's super sad, everybody. Oh well. I'll just have to try to win some more people over. It is what it is. So you can't impress everybody, right? Anyways, contents. Shorts. This was, God, what was it called? It was a while ago. Persistent data. It was quite a while ago. Can't even remember what it was effing called. I'll recognize the thing. I think it was literally just before this one here. This is the bottom one. Yes, this one here. So, in here, I'll what's it called? Mute myself here. Here we go. Okay, so yeah, I show off here that when I freeze rendering, Unreal Engine stops rendering anything not on screen. And that's partially true. So I just froze rendering. I'm going to turn around. And, okay, so you can see that it's stopped rendering almost everything, right? So the things that you can see on screen, the reason that they're still on screen is because they have a dependency with the day-night cycle, or the day-night system, which is the sky sphere, okay? If something is on screen that you have a dependency elsewhere, then it will still render this, because it still says, oh, this is being seen, I need to render it and all of its dependencies, right? So all of these crops are subscribed to the day-night cycle so that they can age up, right? These windows were subscribed to the day-night cycles, light on and light off events so that the material would change to be lit up in the nighttime, right? This, I believe, I'm not sure why this is on screen still, this grass area, because I set it up where Can I turn around? Maybe it was on screen elsewhere. Oh, yes. This is the same thing, it's just a different... Okay, these are the same actors. So I wonder actually if it renders the same actors on screen, if it's seen. Because, like, see how these are here? These aren't subscribed to anything, these are just literally, it's a spline, right? If I come back here, do I see any... I wonder if, when I zoom out, if I... Like, this is cropped, obviously, so I wonder if, like, a little smidget of it is on screen still. Got a sub here from... Tira. Okay, I'm back. Looks like I missed the transition from debugging to enhancing Tarkov. Lol, thanks, TG. Thanks, man, and you just increased the crown by 1. Thanks, man. So, we got 2 out of 5 crowns. If we get to 5 crowns before the end of the stream, I will put the crown on, and I'll do something stupid that... whoever donated the 5, will, I'll draw randomly or something, and you guys can give me something stupid to do. But anyways, yeah, there you guys go. So that's something to keep in mind. So somebody just commented. I was answering it before the stream. I'll even find it on here and we'll read it. Not that one. Sorry. Yeah, this is the one here. So he said, as far as I understand, you should not cast to a blueprint if the like the player character if that blueprint does not get used in all the levels. If you don't want it in the level where it does not already exist, memory casting to player character should be fine as it's always in all levels. So this is a good example of what I just explained of why that is not a good idea. Okay, so number one, if you wanted to migrate any system to your project, you have a dependency on your player character, super messy. You're going to migrate it over, then you got to fix a bunch of broken pointers and stuff like that that aren't in the new project, right? So that sucks. The other thing that sucks is, once again, your player character is always on screen. It's always being rendered. So in this exact instance where we turn around and we look at all the stuff that's still loaded in because there's a dependency on you know, this day-night cycle, which is always on screen. Now your player is always on screen. So if you have a reference to your player character, guess what? They're always going to be rendered just like this. It's a complete waste of resources. Your GPU is literally rendering something that you're not seeing. It's a complete waste of time. So that is so yeah, look right here. This had no dependence on anybody, and it's not rendering the static mesh for it, right? So that's why you don't want to always cast to your player just because they're loaded into memory. There you go. Clip that, make it into a short, right? So anyways, I can read all the comments and stuff later. I do read most of the comments. The tick video, there was a couple of guys in there at the beginning that were just literally like losing their mind. They're like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, blah, blah, blah. But you know, whatever. I did my research on stuff on tick, right? So before I made that video, I'm not just saying what I think is true. Anyways, so why don't I remind you? Clip it, yeah. I made my school modular, now I have to build it all. It's soul crushing. Yeah, it is. I get it, right? But you know, you can make level instances, right? So you can create you know, if you're gonna have a huge school, make it in its own level, right? And then if you want to reuse that building in the future, just use a level instance, right? So that's the easiest way for you to just build like think of what's it called? Call of Duty Warzone, right? Like how many buildings are the exact same throughout that entire map? Right? How many houses are exact same? You got buildings and apartments and rooms and all that shit. Like, they're all the frickin' same, right? So they just built it once and reused it 20 times, right? So that's what you want to do in your game, because that is a pretty optimized way to do it and to reduce the amount of extra work you got to do, right? So, anyways. Making stuff modular, though, is super shitty. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. Mark, I haven't seen you... You retracted your message and I can't read what you have to say. Right? I forgot about that. Why did you not remind us yet? Who wants to update you on what's happening? So, yeah, we did rotation, which is funny because that's the thing you requested, if you missed it. So, we do this. The only problem we're working out now is what happens is it's now rotate. It's forced to rotate, and it's not going to update at all unless you click... actually, you should be able to click control again. Oh, shit. Okay. There's another dumb thing that I made. right? So, yeah, we always set it to dragging and always force it to rotate. So, why don't I create a input here called... we'll say active. Sorry. Let's change this custom event name to force rotate item, and then we'll just say active, and then we will plug in active to here. And to here. And to... Yes, we'll keep dragging true, but force rotate needs to be done that way. Let's go to the controller now. Okay, so we can either do a flip-flop node, or the action value is never going to be useful to us, so we don't need to worry about that. Input action. Shit, let's just do a flip-flop node. I don't know. Flip-flop nodes are pretty lame. But they work, right? So is a true, then it's active, right? So, okay, well, that'll fix that issue, right? So we should be able to cancel this now. So enabled, disabled, and then it redoes the shit it was doing before, so that's great. Okay, the only thing we gotta figure out is maybe in the grid widget. Right here. That's a sort button, sorry. Start drag right here, call this. Is that the cleanest way to do it, everybody? Is just to put this drag widget reference right into this, whatever this is called, the interface, event dispatcher, and then say, are you this? And if you are, then don't listen to this. Yeah. Because we're just doing a type check, so we shouldn't be creating a pointer in there. That, I feel like that would work. TGR the key item bool variable and convert it to a branch on the true. Drag in the key item bool variable and convert it to a branch on true, and from true of key item set to visibility. Convert to branch on the true from the true of the key items. Are we trying to solve the same problem, David? I think, yeah, because like I said, I think this might be the better move. So let's add, so that's of type, what is that? Of type item widget, probably. Arg, he's a ghost. Item widget, right? What happened there? Item widget object reference. Okay, so do that. Whoops. What is this? Oh, it's the drag item. Sorry. Okay. Drag item. Now this will work. Okay, nice. We'll hit compile. That should work in here, but inside of the item, we have to, item widgets. Right here. We have to destroy this. And then we have to go up here, and we have to create, if we create a matching event, it does create a, okay, good. Okay. And so we'll say dragging and not equal to self. Okay, there we go. So let's try that, see if that works. Should work. So we set item visibility, parent grid is not valid. What? Sorry, what was there before? Set item visibility. Let's get that here. Set item visibility. Okay. Okay, that seems good. Alright, we'll do that. And then this is just going to be set item visibility. And then we'll hit compile. That should work. Alright, perfect. Alright, let's test it out. Should be good. No, it still didn't work. So let's see if this little self thing's not working inside of the event graph. Let's get a breakpoint here. Fuck, I hate debugging this. It's so annoying. So, okay, I hit it anyway. Okay, so there's that. I'm gonna drag this. It hits that node again. This should be false, right? Or true, okay. Oh, shit, that'll affect... This will affect it no matter what, then. So this is true. What's the drag widget? And what's self? There's no self data? I'm confused. Alright, well, we'll... Okay, so then I hit force this. And... There's still no self data. Oh shit, I'm stupid, eh? That's a drag item object. So we gotta compare the IDs, actually. So we gotta get our item ID, or item data, sorry. And we gotta split this, and then we gotta get our... so we'll get rid of this. And we'll get rid of this. We need our item unique ID, and we need to check if it's not equal to item data. Split this one. Okay, that makes sense. Because we were comparing a drag widget with an item widget, and they're not the same thing, so that's always going to return true. I'm going to get rid of that breakpoint because I feel like it'll work now, right? So, alright, anyways, this... we'll rotate. It still shows. Okay. Well, that's lame. Why you still show? Oh, that actually would have given us a clue what just happened. So, whatever, right? Close. What's going on here? Access none trying to read drag widgets. Eh? Okay, well, I guess we'll have to add a validate get there because I think that's when we... is that in the HUD class? We'll start from the beginning. So we pass the data here. And then inside of our grid widget, we pass the data here and we set our drag widget here. So then in our item widgets, set visibility. Oh, this does come through as null sometimes, so we will get a is valid node here. Yeah, because when we set it to not dragging, we clear the drag widget, so it won't be valid at that point. So if it's valid, then we'll do this. And if it's not valid, we will skip this, and we would be clearing it. Should I get another branch then, maybe? I don't think we would need it, personally. Because this would always be false, because we're not dragging. If this is not valid, we're not dragging stuff to something, right? So, that's my take on it. Alright, so that's that, but it still didn't work. The drag widget should have the identical item data as this here, so let's put a watch on this. Watch this value. Get the fuck out of here, errors. I don't want you to see your shit. Anyways, let's put a watch right there. When I hit play, does it actually show? God damn it. The watch never effing works, hey? Or do you have to put a debug object on? That'll be the last item. Or will it? Yeah, it's this one here. Okay, so false. Shit. Okay, whatever. We can deal with that. It's false. It's true. It should be... yeah, that's actually what we want. No, we want this to be... I'm so confused, because that's actually correct. It does not equal the item ID. That should be true for literally everything. Let's put one more object in here and just kind of, you know... storage... items... you know, like, the drill, sure, whatever, right? So, okay, we'll hit play. Let's watch the drill now. Which will be probably this. Game instance, blah blah blah, item widgets 4. It'll say... before it said it was a part of the, what's it called, 2, so, or the widgets, oh yeah, here it is. So that's this. That's false. Oh, and there's another bug as well. We're forcing it to rotate, but it's not supposed to rotate. It's set to can rotate false, right? That is so bizarre that that doesn't return true. I just need to see this. Like, I just need to see what this amount is. Or can I watch this? And watch this? And then not watch this? Yeah, because I'm just super curious. Okay, sure, breakpoint, yeah, it works for me. No debug data. Unique item ID is 2. And I guess I gotta go to the blueprint debugger to see this one. Item widgets. That's the one we're in. That's what we're gonna look at. Item data. This is also 2. So these... this should be true. And it's not. Does that make sense, anybody? Here's the drag item. The drag item's item ID has a unique ID of 2. The item data inside of this item widget, which is over here now, item widgets, this is item data, the drill, has a unique item ID of 2. Okay, no, sorry, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Because this would be true if they equaled. Right? Sorry, my fucking brain's not working right now. Does not equal. False. So this should be false, which means it's set to visible. Oh, shit. You know what? I think I see the issue. So what's happening, if it's false, it's just setting it to visible, right? So we don't necessarily want to do that. I think we just get rid of this and node. We'll just do the straight is valid check here, and then check if we're dragging an item. Okay, if we are not dragging an item, we set it to false. If we are dragging an item, which in this case would be true, we want to check and see if these are, if this equals this, right? Good God, there's no frickin' room here. Yeah, get him on. There we go. Okay, so then we'll check... does this equal this? And I want equals specifically now. Do these equal? If they don't equal, then we're gonna set it to this. If it is equal, then we are going to set visibility to collapsed. Okay, there. Let's see if that fixed it. Hopefully that fix makes sense, right? Okay, yeah, that fixed it. Nice. Cool. All right, there's your rotate. I mean, oh yeah, one thing we didn't fix is the this will be back in the HUD class, I think. Or maybe the grid widget. Right here, we gotta, before we call this event... So actually down in this one here, not create, sorry. Where is it? It's updates. So right here, I think we need a forces rotate and can rotate. We have it right here, sorry. So let's get an and then we can put force rotated. If those are both true, then we'll try vertical. Okay, and then we could do that in the other place that this is. We'll just find references by name all. It's in query. That's the other one that we did, right? So query, right here, force rotate. And then we'll break this here. Get our item data, and we'll say can rotate, and then we'll check and. All right, there. That'll fix the issue with the drill, and hopefully it doesn't break anything else. Let's have a look. Okay, so right, force rotate. This is all working fine. I'm gonna try to rotate this one, and I can't. Oh shit, I did anyway. Huh. I'm so confused. Maybe that was the grid widget. Can rotate and force rotated. Because that was the only time we had an issue, I think, right? So let's see here. Check the on drag detected thing. Check the on drag detected. That is here, right? So, well, that's here. Drag force. Yeah, that's all fine. Then we went to the grid widget where that gets received. Event graph. Force rotate. Force rotate sets right there. That's something totally different. And then we go to the item widgets. Hello there. Oh, I didn't see the new person in the chat here. The him, welcome. Hello, are you a self-taught dev? I've been following your stuff for quite a while now. I am a self-taught dev. I said this on streams before. I don't necessarily believe in going to school because A, it costs a lot of money, and they don't really get you ready for anything, to be honest. A lot of them will teach you how to, like, make your own games, which, to be honest, is, like, what a lot of people want to do, is just make their own games. But why don't you just make your own games and just learn what you need to learn? You know what I mean? So, oh, did I disappear? Oh, I see. That's what you guys are talking about. So, it's not passing the data inside of set item function. Okay, I gotta read my comments more. I just get hyper-focused on the screen, unfortunately. But, yeah, him going back to your thing, yeah, I just think that it's, like, a way better time for you to just, you know, in your own time, you know, set 1 or 2 times, 3 times a week if you want, instead of going to school, to just learn something. Make a system. Hey, I want to make my character do XYZ, figure out how to do that. Whether you need to watch tutorials to get a grasp of something, do some research online. And if you're like, hey, I don't know what that is, Google it, right? I use Gemini all the time. I'm like, I don't know what the hell that is. Hey, Gemini, can you explain what this is? And it'll explain it to me, right? So, yeah, I just think that's a great way for you to learn, is like, because obviously you have context of what's happening inside your project, so it's just easier to learn when you have the context around it, right? Yeah, don't go to school, waste of time. Make a portfolio of stuff, and then if you want to be like a game dev, like in the actual industry, then you have a portfolio of experience versus like, oh, I went to XYZ school, and they're gonna be like, cool, like we don't care, right? I do have, you know, I went to film school back in the day, in 2010, 2011, so that's, I went there because that's just what we were told to do. You got to get an education before you can work in the industry, and honestly, that's just not freaking true in terms of the creative arts and anything like that, right? So you can get into the industry with no experience. You just got to have a portfolio. And once I did get into the film and television industry, I obviously, you know, my film school education helped, but it in no way, shape, or form was a contributing factor into why I got hired. So, yeah. And I've hired people before with no experience. I prefer people with no experience, in my honest opinion, than hiring people that have a bunch of education and something. Well, I guess that's pretty subjective, to be honest. But yeah, because I can train somebody from the ground up how to do something properly. And when you have somebody who has an education, then they always try to, I guess, fix the issues that they see, even though that's not how you do it in practice. Yeah, so... awesome. I think self-taught is so much better and faster. I'm actually shipping a game solo next week. So it took me 5 years to make. Bro, nice. Congrats. You've beat 95% of the rest of game developers and are actually shipping a game. So a lot of us will start and then not finish or lose motivation or whatever the case is. So that's awesome. And if you want us to like test your game before you ship it, like in our Discord, we got a test my game area. If you're looking for just like some beta testers or something like that, like we can help you out with that. No worries. MVVM. I didn't know what that was. Did somebody come in here and say it? It's probably the same guy that's been saying it in the comments of the videos. Tear stop. Yeah, stop pow-powing people. Anyways. Yeah, at Ruby something XXX whatever. Hello there is what David said, but I don't see them in here. The real spooked. Any chance for an MVV tutorial? Yeah, here we go. Probably not, to be honest. I had to Google what that was because I'm like, I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. And I'll probably Google it again because I actually can't remember what it was. UE5 MVVM website put MCCM. I hope I don't get some like weirdness going on there. Model view mode model, I guess. It's an architectural pattern that separates user interface logic from business logic. It's used 3 components. Okay. The visual interface. Interesting. This might help out Hollywood, because Hollywood was, he made a bunch of really cool HTML like widgets, but he wasn't sure how to implement them into Unreal, so maybe this would be for him, to be honest. Separation of concern. I see. Okay, that's pretty cool. But yeah, I won't be doing a tutorial on that because I just found out what it was like now, right? So I don't know anything about it. I would need to do it, understand it, and I just got a lot of stuff on the go here, so I won't be making a tutorial on that. So, sorry, man, to disappoint, but what's it called? Yeah, I can't make tutorials on literally everything, right? So I apologize for that. Switch to live chat. I should do that, hey? Live chat. There we go. There we go. Okay, thank you. I was on top chat, not live chat. Yeah, pretty much. I don't know why it doesn't go to live chat automatically, to be honest. So yeah, Ruby, welcome to the stream. Let's see here. I'm just having a look here at some other comments I missed. TG means me. I lose motivation a lot. I'm being bullied. Yeah. We pick on Fat Man all the time. Right? No. View models for UMG. Okay, yeah, you're explaining what that was there. So yeah, sorry about, sorry I missed those comments. I was on top chat as well. Alright, so where were we? We're trying to figure out why the hell Something happened. I can't. Let me just resim because I don't remember what the hell our issue was. Oh yeah, this was rotating when it should have been rotating. Let's see here. We'll get rid of that. Don't need it. Let's see here. We do. Yes, I call this right to set rotated, and then we have it permanently set to rotated. That's right. So that. Oh shit, do I call that somewhere? That's probably what's happening. So I just tell it to rotate the item before we can do that check. Yeah. Where do we do that? Shit. Grid widget? Or do we do it back in the HUD class? I think that's what we do, HUD class. Yes we do. So let's not do it here. Let's do it in the grid widget. Okay, and then in the grid widgets, set drag item. We'll drag this back, and now we'll get drag widgets. We'll get our item data, and then we'll split that, and then we'll make a effing mess here like usual. Okay, and then we'll get can rotates, and then we'll get an and node here. Plug that in, and then we will come out of drag widget again here. Set rotate, or sorry, rotate item. There. Okay, that'll fix that little bug, right? There, it's not working, so that's great. This. Force rotate, very nice. Okay, so we did that. I mean, shit, that took a lot longer than I thought I was gonna. Didn't even get to the other ones. I'm super confident that you guys can figure out on your own how to do the double click stuff here. So let's. But I want to figure out the inputs because that was the big old question mark. Gotta take a drink of something here. You people and your keyboard shortcuts, so this is why I can't use Blender. I should probably make a keyboard shortcut like PDF cheat sheet or something. To be honest, you guys can print it off and laminate it or whatever the case is. I've also had thoughts of like essentially publishing my notebook, a cleaner version of it, I guess, on how to do a bunch of stuff, but that's gonna be so much work. Yeah, I love keyboard shortcuts too. It just makes your work flow so much faster. Okay, so I'm weak. I would love a cheat sheet. Yeah, I think I can, I'll maybe work on that. So, okay, so let's figure out why these don't necessarily work. Inputs in the IMC. Did we set it in here? Or I had the IMC open. Fucking dummy. Okay, so leftmost button swap item. And then we have it set to... Just open these all up here. Swap item and key swap item. And auto swap item. Yeah, that's already open. Okay, so this is a corded action. So this is... Applies a chord action that must be triggering... For this... Oh, shit. Okay. Okay, so we gotta put inside of the controller. We have key item swap. We also need to... what do we call this? Auto assign key item wasn't even a thing here. So, key item triggered. Let's now put a print string here and just say triggered, I guess. I don't know. Sorry, not triggered. Corded action triggered. Okay, let's see if that does anything now. Okay, so it's not doing diddly dick, so that's simming fine. Key item swaps, or I'll bring this over here so you guys can see. And I will get rid of... We don't need this right now, so I'll just shrink it up super small. Alright, so... We were looking at this. Assigns key item, which... Auto assigns, that's the left mouse button, but it does not fire unless swap item is also firing. Not swap item, I'm sorry. The other one. What's the other one? Okay, this isn't going to work then, so, because I didn't do the thing I just said. Close menu, swap item, auto sign. I need swap key item on here. Swap key item. This has got to be shift. Okay, and now in... I don't know if it needs to be actually in the world or not. Let's just find out. There, okay, so that did work. Key item triggered. Corded action triggered, because we're pushing, they're both being triggered, so that does work. Okay, sweet. So, let's go back to the controller. Corded action triggered, key item, swap. Key, yes, okay. And then what was the other one? The double click, swap item. Let's go back to that one and make sure we can get that working. Swap item is just left mouse click, but we didn't add a modifier on here, but we should have added it inside of... Oh, whoops, I opened both of these at once. Swap item. Triggers. Repeated tap. Huh. Oh, this is too high. That's probably it. Let's put that at 0.2. Number of taps which trigger repeats. Okay, so let's see if we can get that to work now. Swap item triggered. Sweet. So we just had to lower that threshold time. Alright, so let's see here. We got a lot of comments here. Braz? Alright. Is there any good resources online for the blueprints of the whole game projects? There might be some stuff in the Epic thing here. I can probably close my other project here, but if I go to... this is... Yeah, I'll get rid of this. If I go to this... If you go to... I think it's new project. Oh, I'm sorry, pardon me. It's sample projects. So Lyra's pretty good. Lyra is... it's not a... fully complete game, but it's like a multiplayer ready shooter game, so you know you can look at stuff like that. I would not necessarily look at this in terms of code because it was more of an art project and is not optimized whatsoever. It's pretty bad, which is why I used it in my video for the profiler. Crop Out is a sample top-down RTS that focuses on best practices for building a project designed for cross-platform release. So there's something like that, right? So a couple of other things in here too. So this one, this project is huge. I don't recommend downloading that one. It's I don't know about the city sample. I haven't tried that one, but this one is so big and it just like it does not want to run on your computer for some reason. So yes, I would check some of these out. Because, yeah, they're either demos or they're, like, you know, semi-complete projects in the form of, like, Lyra or whatever that you can use. This is another one. Stackabot is another good one to reference. So, you can check those out. Okay. Because I have some system I made for some game logic, but I imagine that they would have to be so big for an actual game. Made for some... not necessarily have to be really big. You know, I don't know if you're in the stream at this point, but, sorry, and I see, TAKENGRACE mouse pads incoming. Yes, they already do exist if, Real Time wants to drop a link to the shop for some mouse pads. Oh, but, yeah, you're talking about the cheat sheet. That's actually a really good idea. I'm gonna do that now. Okay, so... I made a silly English accent for the yellow bot. Oh, good stuff. I'm excited for next week's Bionic Smash stream. Yes, if you guys are watching and new to the stream, we make a community game every single week called Bionic Smash, so we'll be working on that. We have a couple people in the community here that are working on some stuff behind the scenes, but I build stuff on live on stream, and you guys can ask questions, and we can decide some stuff and direction for the game. So there's no director or any creative in charge of the whole thing. We're kind of just doing it as we go and kind of figuring stuff out, right? So we'll see how bad I guess it looks in the end when there's no single creative person directing the the game, but we'll see how it goes. TR got a health system going and adding a bunch of sound effects. Nice, man. Oh, that looks fire. Yeah, man, the city sample is massive. I can only imagine it's PCG, right? It's just gonna be absolutely huge. Yes, I'm still here. Perfect. Buy the merch to show your friends, and if you have no friends, if you have, that's funny. Bionic Smash. Ed, welcome to the stream. But yeah, so I don't know what kind of systems you have in your game, but you obviously can just learn. I showed this off in the beginning of the stream. So I made and this is a game project that I'm working on that's not related to YouTube at all. I made a system for spawning my crops, right? So this is all one blueprint, crop spawner. You can choose what crops to spawn, and then it's going to access the function inside of this data asset to pull all the static meshes out, so it's completely segregated from this this thing, and they're not loaded into memory until we actually need them, right? So I'm going to choose 3 different ones, because just to prove, right, because there will be a little bit of a hitch while it loads it into memory. So we'll do tomatoes, and we'll do corn, and what's one more? Potatoes, I guess we haven't done, right? Potatoes. All right. So I'll start right here, and you'll see that it'll take them a second to load in. It just had a millisecond or 2 to load in, or a couple frames, because the assets weren't loaded into memory because I kept them completely separated from this blueprint. So this is a very modular way to do stuff. If you change regions, it'll unload these crops, and then if there's certain crops that aren't being used in another level or another partition, then it'll unload them, right? So that's a really optimized way to do stuff. Yeah, and then now anybody can just drag in a crop spawner. Building system. Sorry, not building system, pardon me. The crops. Anyone can drag in a crop spawn class, and is that the parent? I'm sorry, crop spawner, there we go. And then select whatever crop they want, and it's done. Right? There's my little wheat. So my little wheat crop that hasn't matured yet, we'll max it out and we'll show that as dead. I gotta work on the dead material. But you saw there was a small hitch right there too, right? It had to load in that material, or pardon me, that static mesh, because it wasn't loaded, right? So, yeah, and like all of this is, that's it. That's my whole blueprint, right? Get the data asset, get the mesh based on what the crop age is, load it, set it, add an instance, done, and then this levels up my crop age, right? If our crop age goes up, we're going to get the new static mesh for that crop age, load it, set it, remove the old instance, add a new instance, done, right? And then all the sorry, I can, I believe, yeah, crop data, all it is all these, and then I have one single function for it to get the correct static mesh for the correct crop age. That's it. That's super basic, super scalable thing, right? So, yeah, if you think your system's too big, like Tarkov, it might be. I'm sure there's an easier way to do the Tarkov system. This is just the way that I discovered that it will work. It probably is a little bit complicated, but once it's set up, it's its own thing. It's not, you're not gonna, you can obviously take this component and implement this elsewhere. So, if we migrate this, what is it gonna take with it? Sure, I'll save the content, whatever. Okay, we're gonna take our components. We're gonna take our all of our enums, the data assets associated with this. Sure, whatever. The HUD class, the player state. So all of this stuff is a dependent of this thing, right? So it is pretty big. But yeah, like I said, I don't know if there's an easier way. Someone said they would just use materials and UV and stuff like that to set all this kind of stuff. I have no idea how to do that kind of stuff. So. Those crops got some serious roid function going on. Yeah, pretty much, right? Glad you reminded me of TG. I didn't do the shillings. I'm a bad slayer, unpaid employee, or slay. Oh, I see. Yeah, I'm not gonna say that on stream. Thanks, real time. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to post all of the freaking things. That's fine. But yeah. All right, so. From what I heard, we once had weeded plants in the cellar of our school as a school project. Oh, damn. What country do you live in? It's so hot in my area. And what country do you guys live in? I'm just curious. We got a, on the Discord, by the way, it's got it kind of hidden, but we do have a world map of some variety here. It's here somewhere. It's probably, member world map, here we go. So yeah, if you guys haven't done this, you can throw your world map on here. We can kind of keep track of how many people are from what country. So we got huge spread of people, which is great, honestly. Okay, so we got all these actions working. I'm going to be getting off here shortly, but yeah, for the other things inside of our controller, there's my controller. So for swap item, honestly, I think what I would do for that is I would create inside our HUD class for swap item. We're gonna. Can you get all widgets of class? I'm pretty sure you can. Or we should... get all widgets of class. You can. So I would get all widgets of class. I would uncheck on top, whatever the hell only. I would get the grid widgets, and then I would get a for each loop. I would make this a function as well. So I would collapse this to function, and we'll just say... let's call it swap item to player grid, I guess. Or so we'll say swap item to grid. But actually the problem with this now is if you double click on it and it's already in your player's inventory, then we should... oh, shit. Okay. Maybe this won't work. This particular way won't work then. Maybe we should do this inside the player state instead. Hey? We just need a way to differentiate between if it's in somebody else's grid or our player state grid, and then to find... That's a lot of effing work, just to swap it. This is a tough one. Maybe we should make something inside the grid widget, then. So you click on the item. Okay, actually, sorry. I take that back. I take that back. Let's, I don't think we would need to do this in this at all. I think we would do it inside of item widget. Okay, sorry. Dungeons of the Amber Griffin. Friggin' awesome name, by the way. Welcome to the stream here. So we got... just looking at a couple from Austria. Nice, okay. David, Saudi Arabia. Nice, yeah. Would be hot over there, hey? Frickin' love Austria. The food over there is so tasty, Real Time says. Nice. Ed lives in Mexico, which we knew, because we speak Spanish all the time in the member area in the Discord. Good old Schnitzel in Kaiser Scharmeren. I think that's how you say the last one. I do love me a Schnitzel. That's a good stuff. Anyways, Dungeons of the Amber Griffin. Hey, in my RPG game, I have a data table items. Data table containing information about 800 in-game items. This was created back in UE4. In a few places in the code, we read an F struct to gather information about the items in the game. I'm wondering how to optimize this without having to rewrite everything. Yikes, yeah, that's tough. Data tables are best for data-only stuff. Data assets are better for stuff that has... what's it called? Data assets are better for stuff that have blueprinty stuff in it. So if I go back to here, right? Crops... oh yeah, sorry, over here. So yeah, in my data asset for this, right, better to have stuff like, you know, static meshes and blueprints and blueprint class references and all that kind of stuff. And then you can also put functions in here just like this, where I can access all that information without ever having any of these static mesh assets touch a blueprint. So that's nice. And then with data tables, I don't know if this is true or not. I kind of want to look it up. I don't know if once you access the data table, or once the data table is loaded into memory, if there's a hard reference in there, that it loads it. I want to, let's ask Gemini that, because Gemini is great for research related shit like this. 1 sec here. So we'll go Unreal Engine here. We'll say, when you load a data table, does it load all the hard references? References. Data table is load all hard references in the table with it, or just the row accessed. Let's see what it says. Gemini is really good for research, by the way, so if you guys are ever wondering something like exactly this, it's gonna investigate data tables, it's gonna pull all the data it can. Like, Google Gemini literally is built from Google, who's like one of the best search engines in the world, right? So, okay, so when you load a data table in Unreal, it loads every single hard reference contained within the entire table, not just the row accessed. So there you go. So if you, what you could do, if you don't want to change everything into data assets, which would be an extremely huge job for 800 things, convert all of those into soft references. It's probably going to say that here. The second your project loads the data table into memory, even if you're just accessing a row, it'll force load every single mesh, material, texture, particle system, and sound effect reference across all 200 rows directly into your RAM. So it's frame hitches, blah, blah, blah. To build a professional scalable data system, you must decouple information from heavy assets. Yeah, this is what I was just basically saying. Use soft references inside your data table struct. Change your asset variable from hard references to soft object references. Because it won't load it if it's a soft reference, but then you would have to load it into memory in each blueprint that accesses that data, right? So it's going to output the soft reference, and then you're going to do exactly what I've done here in my crop spawner. Right, so get your mesh. So this would be replacing with your data table. Get data table row, put the name in, blah, blah, blah. The out row, get your mesh. It's now a soft object. You got to async load it. Async is just going to load it in the background. If you need it for something specific, you can get a block asset, load blocking asset node. Okay, so this will load the asset first, then continue. This will continue while loading the asset. Okay, after you've loaded it, you need to cast to it, because you'll see this is just going to be an object reference. Okay, so you need to refine that by casting to get to the specific thing you need, which in this case is a static mesh. Cast the static mesh, and then then now you have access to the exact thing that you have in there. Okay, so you got to do that in all your blueprints, plus change all your things to soft references. Okay, but in future, I generally would use data assets if you're going to have stuff like static meshes and blueprint classes and all that kind of stuff in there, and use data tables only specifically for data only, like anything that is like a part of these classes, essentially anything that doesn't have anything that you can point to in your content drawer. Okay, same thing if you have a like a struct you can technically point to, right? But if the struct only has data in it, it's fine, right? Not going to be a big deal. Right, so anyways, I think we have a shortcoming soon. Yeah, I mean, don't want to blow all my credits on the lives, because the lives are like 3 hours long, so it's like I credit a minute or something like that. So, oh, look what yeah, look what real time Fatman puts me through a short. Yeah, hierarchy mouse pad. We'll need one of those. Nice. Okay, that's a good idea. TG posted a short. Only David's has the answer. I'm thinking about creating placeholders for meshes, textures, etc., and then replacing them later. Thanks for the research. DA was created after we built our game prototype. Nice, yeah. But yeah, just keep that in mind, because I Googled it because I wasn't 100% sure, but I mean, based on the research here that Gemini did, sorry, I'll get rid of that. I don't know why I was doing that, but yeah, obviously it will load everything in that data table. Okay, so there you go. Let's close that, and I do need to get off here, but going back to this, any more Tarkov related things before I leave, I will answer those now, and then we will not talk about Tarkov for quite a long time. We're gonna go back to making our community game. What was I looking for here? I was looking for... Yes, so in item widgets, this is probably where I would do the swap item. Parents grid. This is yeah, this would take a little bit of work. Immediately, I cannot think of a way to do this. I have a couple, like, I was just thinking about maybe checking if the grid widgets, like, you know, make an interface in the player state or something and check if this grid widget is a part of our players' arrays or whatever. And then we know if it's a player item or not. Or do we go to the... Yeah, this is tough. This is way easier to do with just a regular... what's it called? Drag and drop system or inventory, where you don't have a grid. It's just like you have slots and then one other, you know, either the thing that your inventory or the other inventory. So it's basically like you double click it and it's going to add it to your player's inventory, or if you double click it, it's going to add it back to the other thing. It's just way easier to do that. I don't know how to do it here when you have multiple grids. Huh. Yeah, that's a big mystery, but what's the chronometer, by the way? That's when someone does a super chat, then I put on my Taking Grace signature crown, and then you guys can request me to do something stupid, I guess. I don't know, stupid or build something or whatever the case is. Tier, I have so many questions about the grid system, but we can talk about that in our monthly meeting, bro. Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Awesome, Tier. Sounds great. So yeah, that's, once again, I'm not sure when we're going to be doing the next, or when I'm going to be doing Module 2, because like I said, I got a bunch of stuff on the go here, so, save that. But yeah, I got obviously this project of mine going on that I'm doing in the background, and then I got a bunch of other stuff, I'm doing for YouTube, and then I got the Unreal Engine authorized instructor tutorial I got to do still as well. So, but anyways, yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream, and next week join us once again to do Bionic Smash, the community game. If you guys want to contribute to that in any way, that'd be great. But otherwise, oh boy, sorry, one sec here. There it is. But yeah, so yeah, join the Discord if you guys want a great community here. It was fun to join. Ruby, thanks. Cool. Dungeons of the Amber Griffin, welcome. Hope you guys join us next week and we can build a game together. Otherwise, keep playing until you game over, guys. Peace.